All right, welcome back, everybody. Going to talk about the NFL divisional round. Before we get into it, Jeremy White, great member of this community. He was really the first person in the community who thought the Super Bowl last year would be the Niners and the Chiefs. He was right on about that. He's been working hard on a sports betting guide because he sees a lot of people come here and say, how do you make a bet? And he's put together a tutorial for how to bet online, and also if you want to use different forms of currency like crypto and whatnot. So to get his guide, I'm going to put the link in the chat right now. As a heads up, there is a price on it. He's charging $20 for it, but you know what? Jeremy's a good person, and no, I don't make anything off this. But a lot of you are familiar with Jeremy White. He's done a great job calling in over the years. He's given a lot of people winning tips. So if you want to share some love with Jeremy White, he's put together a really nice book, and just linked it in the chat. It's bitcoinsportsguide.com. bitcoinsportsguide.com, and you can read about it right here. Jeremy's got some skills, man. He put together a nice website, too, so he's been working hard on this. He was trying to, I thought we were going to have this finished a long time ago, but hey, better late than never, and you know what? It's not really late because you'll be able to use this forever. So I just want to throw that out there. Jeremy just finished. He just texted me before I got on and said, hey, you can promote it. So if you're interested in that, again, bitcoinsportsguide.com. And with that said, let's talk about the divisional round. We got the Chiefs and the Browns. Remember how we looked at this last week and we said, the Chiefs and Browns last played each other 115 weeks earlier, and there's something going on with 115 and the Browns. Well, here they are, the 1 seed versus the 5 seed. On both sides, you got the 1 seed versus the 5 seed. Both 5 seeds advanced in the year of Super Bowl 55. And on the other side, you got the 2 seed versus the 5 seed on both sides. It's interesting, isn't it? Because Ravens is 25, Tampa Bay 25. I suppose with the Packers and Rams is 15. Or actually, never mind, you guys. My eyes are getting old. I'm wrong. It's not the 5 seeds on both sides with the Rams. The Rams were the 6 seed. All right, never mind. Disregard that on the Packers and Rams. But and the Browns, too. I'm blind. The 5 seeds did advance in both rounds. That's what it was. The 5 seeds did advance on both sides of the year Super Bowl 55. But we got the 1 versus the 6 and the 2 versus the 5. There we go. So with regards to the numbers. Well, here, before we even start breaking down the numbers, I just want to remind people about some key stories that we documented before the football season even began. With regards to the Buccaneers, remember, the day that the Tampa Bay Rays beat Boston in Boston 17-8, that was exactly 178 days before the Super Bowl. 17-8, 178 days over the Super Bowl. Of course, Boston and Tampa Bay, Tom Brady. And then it was 10 days later was the first game of the playoffs for the NHL between the Tampa Bay Lightning and the Boston Bruins, and that game was 168 days before the Super Bowl, and Massachusetts is 168, and Boston Bruins is 168, and that was the only game in the series the Bruins won. They went down 4-1 in that series, kind of like the Super Bowl number 41. And of course, the Lightning won the Stanley Cup this year. And you might recall they won it 44 days after the Bay Area burned up with the lightning that happened on the Jesuit birthday, August 15th, and lightning equals 44, and Tom Brady's from the Bay Area. And we've talked about over the years how these weather phenomenon type things connect directly to sports, especially the year of the Astros and the Dodgers. Astros beat the Dodgers after Houston flooded and LA burned with the La Tuna fires. Harvey was all synced up. But, so anyway, I mean, those were huge rituals perfectly synced with the Super Bowl. And I've been saying since then, it's hard to imagine that the Bucs aren't going to be in the Super Bowl. And we had that gentleman calling in at the beginning who was so adamant that the Bucs had zero chance to be in the Super Bowl. And if he's listening today, you know, he was certain it was going to be the Seahawks in the NFC. So, you know, nobody's perfect, and I don't think he was trying to give bad advice, but he was just so adamant against the Bucs, even though what we documented, and granted, he hasn't been calling in since back then, but I still think the Bucs have a real shot at the Super Bowl. But in terms of not tomorrow's game, I guess it's 2 days from now, Sunday they play the Saints and the Bucs. That's gonna be a tight riddle there. We're gonna look into that. I mean, there's a narrative for the Saints, and if you guys saw the post I put up earlier this week, there is a gentleman in this community who puts his betting slips on a website where people bid for them, and he has a $20,000 bid on a ticket right now that has the chance to pay over $220,000. He just needs the Bucs and the Ravens to make it to the Super Bowl, but those are big ifs because we got some narratives here for other teams. You know, if we did see the Saints make it to the Super Bowl, I think that would make it really easy to call the Super Bowl outcome because Drew Brees' next loss is 55. I don't see how he wouldn't pick that up in Super Bowl 55 if he makes it there. But he's got to make it there first, and I'm just not sure he's going to because, again, the Bucs had that really great riddle perfectly lined. Baseball and hockey, and we know how they sync up all the sports. And remember, even the day before the Bucks won, or not the Bucks, but even the day before the Rays won 17-8 over Boston, the day before that we documented the Super Bowl ritual because Tampa Bay Lightning became 13-1 in Boston in their last 14 games. An amazing stat, 13-1 in their last 14 games in Boston, 179 days before the Super Bowl, and 179 is the 41st prime. It was Rod who called in and told us that could happen before that game was played. We said, oh, that's going to happen, and oh, man, that looks like it's there for Tom Brady. Another Super Bowl riddle, Super Bowl 131, Super Bowl 41. So that happened, and then the next day they won 17-8, 178 days before the Super Bowl. So all I know about 178 is, in terms of, I guess, 2020, George Floyd equals 178, but Kabbalah, that word has the gematria of 178 too, and that's what they're doing with all this. Again, all this letters and numbers stuff comes from Kabbalah. Kabbalah also equals 38, and the Super Bowl's on the 38th day of the year. Suppose Florida's 38 with the Super Bowl's at as well. So is Louisiana. Louisiana and Florida are two of the 5 states that equal 38. But, and you know, the other thing to think about with the Saints, because I know some of you are real big on the Saints making it there. Louisiana does equal 101. It's the 101st NFL season. To start 2020, we had LSU win the championship by the numbers. So, again, I mean, I'm even a little bit torn myself, but man, I just keep coming back to what we documented in the baseball and hockey season with the Super Bowl. And when we get to the playoffs, a lot of times it's those riddles that connect sports that show us what the outcome's going to be. And, of course, Tom Brady is 0-2 versus the Saints this year while playing in the division. So if he did win, if he finally overcame the hump, he'd be 1-2, Mr. 12, Tom Terrific. So, you know, that one's a little bit tricky. The only game that would really shock me this weekend if it didn't come through is the Chiefs. And again, for the gentleman who's, I don't know if he decided to sell the ticket or if he's hanging on to it. If he had the Chiefs and Bucks on that ticket, I might have told him to write it out. But I will be surprised if the Ravens are in the Super Bowl over the Chiefs. Because remember what I said about the Chiefs. First of all, they became 10-1 in the 101st season in the Bucs Stadium. But then also I said, watch, if they become 13-1 in that week game and Patrick Mahomes picks up his 41st win in that game is 49 days before the Super Bowl, and those are 3 of the values of Super Bowl, and the ones that really matter are 131 and 41. But again, the Chiefs did become 13-1 in the same game where Mahomes got his 41st career win, and that was 49 days before the Super Bowl. And with regards to the other value, 112, don't forget the Chiefs opened up the season beating the Texans by the numbers on the day leaving 112 days left in the year. And remember, Chiefs is 112. They played Houston 112. Houston loves that number. Harden's 112. Supposedly he demanded his trade on January 12th, but Henry demanded the trade earlier in the season too. And then he went to Brooklyn 112. And by the way, just so I don't forget, if you guys are already thinking about more futures to put in on, I got the Dodgers winning the next World Series as well. I'm just going to throw that out there right now. We already know what's up with the finals. It should be Lakers over the Nets. I'll be surprised if that doesn't happen. It's all about 56. And the reason I like the Dodgers in the World Series again is because of it's the 117th World Series. That's another number that hits like fire with the Dodgers, 117. So I'll take the Dodgers in the World Series again. Lakers over Nets if you're thinking about some futures. But I'll have to think more about who the Dodgers might play in this next World Series. But I like them to win it. I like them to be there too. That might even be the safer pick, just in case I come up with something why they could lose in the 117th World Series. But I definitely like the Dodgers to be in the World Series again. 117, I don't think that one's going to come short. They're looking like a dynasty team right now, as are the Lakers. By the way, have the Lakers become 11-3 yet? If they got a game coming up, I'll be surprised if the Lakers don't hit 113 in the Kobe Bryant season. Kobe 75, Kobe Bryant 113. But anyway, back to football. Again, if the Chiefs aren't in the Super Bowl, I'm going to be surprised. Again, pretty much every year I call the Super Bowl once I see that 131-41 combo. Once it identifies, and all year we've liked the Chiefs as well. I mean, Chiefs and Bucks have been my two most likely teams to make it to the Super Bowl since the start of the season. But the game I'm more nervous about between those two this week is definitely the Bucks-Saints game. I will be real surprised if the Chiefs don't get past the Browns. And with that said here, let's go through the numbers on the other games, and then I'm going to open up the phone line. And when you guys do call in today, when we get to that point, try to just hit us with that killer stat, that killer thing you're looking at. Because not to rush you guys, but I am planning to drive down to Portland tonight, and it gets cold and snowy here over the mountains, so I want to get going before it gets too dark in case I end up stuck in the pass or something like that. But starting with the Saturday games. The game's on the 16th. I should have wrote that down here. Hold on. 53, the 16th prime. I got to make sure I didn't overlook any 53s. But it's also the day leaving 349 days left in the year, which is the 70th prime. In case they throw some stat at you with like a 16 or a 70 or a 53. The date numerology is 58, 22, 13, and 38. I noticed there were some 22s that could really go against the Rams. And I'm thinking the Packers, before we get to the numbers, I'm thinking the Packers are going to get past the Rams. But I'll tell you what, if you see the Rams upset the Packers, that would make me real nervous about the Bucks. Because then I could see why they might set up a Rams-Saints rematch. You know, just for the narrative of 2 years ago. Remember how the Saints got cheated by the ref who used to play for the Rams? And then if that was the match, Saints and Rams, I know the Saints would take that game all day. It'd be the vengeance game, and then Drew Brees would probably go down in Super Bowl 55. So that is a scenario to think about. But I'm it's hard for me to imagine the Rams getting past the Packers. So anyway, remember the Rams are coming in 11-6, Packers 1-16. The Pac-12 riddles we've been talking about, what they did with the Pac-12 and the NFL. And I wrote down all the location numbers. Field and I did it for each game. Field and city state. This 257 is the 55th prime, and Wisconsin's also 55. There's some 55s that can go against the Rams in this. So the game is on. Did I write on the 13th? Whoops, I didn't mean to write on the 13th. Game is on 13 date numerology is what I meant to write. Okay, so the game's on 13 date numerology. LA is 13. Green Bay is 41, the 13th prime. And remember, LA has Gematria of 13 and 14. The Packers are sitting on 13 wins right now. They can pick up their 14th win by beating LA. And the Rams right now for the year are 5-4 away. Again, these stats are not updating up here, but the Rams beat Seattle in Seattle last week, so they improved to 5-4 away. So if they lost, they'd be 5-5 away. And Wisconsin's 55, and Lambeau's 55, and Green Bay, Wisconsin's 257, the 55th prime, and it's the year of Super Bowl 55. So, I mean, to me, that's pretty incriminating right there for the Rams, since that's pretty much the number of the season. One thing that could go against the Packers is if they fell to 13-4 because Lambeau's 134, but really I think the 55 is the more crucial Lambeau number here. And there's not many teams that beat the Packers at home in the playoffs in the cold, outside of Michael Vick Falcons. So they're 1-1 in the playoffs. The Packers are 1-0 at home. And this will be the 96th game. To me, that jumps out because the word Freemason equals 96. And, of course, the Freemason compass notoriously set at 47 degrees. If the Packers win this game, they actually trail the Rams all time. But if they win, they'll be 47-2. And remember, 47 is a special number. The first Super Bowl season was the 47th season of the NFL, won by the Packers. I'll just add that note here. 47th season of NFL was first Super Bowl won by Packers over Chiefs. And the Rams are 22-26 in the playoffs. If they lose, they'll stay on those 22 wins on the 22-date numerology facing Aaron Rodgers. Aaron's name is 22. And I did notice that if the Packers won, they'd get their 36th playoff win this week. And then both teams that they could play next week, the Bucs or the Saints, both have a connection to 37. So Buccaneers is 37, Saints is 37. And Goff, this will be his 74th game. He comes in 44-29. And if he does not win, he stays on the 44 wins. Packers is 44. I'll tell you what, though. If somehow the Rams beat the Packers, to me that's a bad sign for the Bucs the next day, because I really think that they would have that matchup of Rams and Saints. And what would be interesting about that is next Sunday, January 24th, that date has 30 numerology when the conference championship is. Rams is 30. They could pick up their 30th loss on the 30-date numerology to the Saints in that game. So it's possible. It's possible that the Rams upset the Packers only if that's what they want to do. Create a rematch of 2 years ago where everyone said the Saints got cheated. And I mean, it was like the worst. And it was all part of the script, right? Because, I mean, that was the Super Bowl 53-year Los Angeles 53, Patriots 53. I'll add a little extra note here. If Goff won, he might face New Orleans next week, because New Orleans is 45 in the most pure cipher. He get his 45th win. He could go in there with 45, stay on 45, get that 30th loss on the 30-date. Let's see. Next week's game is on 30-date numerology. Rams is 30. So, and again, if these possible scenarios make you nervous about going one way or the next, you can always sit out, and if you do see it unfold that way, then you can know what to expect, for the games ahead. That's why it's worth looking at the different angles. If you put a gun to my head and said pick this game, I'd take the Packers. I'd take the Packers in this one, but I'm just saying, if the Rams get by, this is the narrative that opens up. And right now, Goff, this will be his 5th playoff game. He's just 2-2. He doesn't have the experience that Rodgers does. It's 94 days after his birthday. For a second, I saw that. And I was like, oh, next week will be 101 days. But no, that's not true. The next game would be 8 days later, so it'd be 102 days after his birthday, so it wouldn't quite hit that 101 thing. And I noticed that if Rodgers gets the W right here, he'll get his 137th win, and Tampa Bay equals 137. And I'm going to get, as we get through the notes, if you haven't looked at the notes yet, at the bottom of this, I mapped out the possible There's 8 possible scenarios for what matchups could be next week, so I've already mapped out all 8. And there is something really interesting if the Packers and the Bucs play each other, so we'll get to that. But if Rodgers wins, he'd get his 137th win, Tampa Bay 137. And hold on. I think I just realized something. No, never mind. I didn't realize anything. Okay. It's going to be Rodgers' 19th playoff game. He's 10-8, right? 10-8. 19's the 8th prime, so he could stay on those 8 losses in his 19th game. If he did win, he'd become 11-8. Wisconsin is 1-8. Los Angeles, California is 1-8. The city on the 118th Meridian West. Born on the day, leaving 118 days left in the year. But if Rodgers did lose, there is something here. He would be 10-9, and he would be 5-3 at home. And Los Angeles is 109-53. So let me see the odds on this again. And again, remember, you can be clever with your bets. You can always do a small bet and a parlay with the Rams. Because if the Rams upset, they would have a nice parlay multiplier value. If you're already big on the Packers, I mean, you could do an insurance bet with, and you wouldn't have to bet much on the Rams, again, if you got the other teams solid in your parlay. Because, again, there is value with the Rams upset. And, again, if that does happen, I got to assume they're going to have the Rams and the Saints rematch each other. With regards to it being his 19th playoff game, Lambeau's also 19. It's 45 days after his birthday or his 46th day of his age. Lambeau Field's 46. I suppose I should have wrote something. 45, ninth triangular number. Could pick up ninth playoff loss. And next Sunday will be 53 days after Rogers' birthday. Vesica Pisces, 53, the shape of the football. It would be his 54th day of his age. That's a New Orleans number. But I don't think they would have. Well, it's possible. I don't think it would end up being Packers Saints though. I think if the Packers advance, things probably look a bit better there for him to play Brady. I'll get to why. McVay is 3-2 in the playoffs. It's the Rams coach. He's 46-23 all time. His next win is 47, the 15th prime. The Rams is 15. That doesn't mean he has to pick it up this week. Again, I think the better 47 is if the Packers win and even it up 47-47 with the Rams. Granted, next Sunday, the NFC Championship is on his birthday. Doesn't mean he's going to be playing. He could be watching on TV, beginning of his vacation for his birthday. And LaFleur, he's 27-7 right now. His next win's 28, Packers number. And first playoff game for the Packers this year. And I suppose if he won, he'd be 2-1 in the playoffs, wouldn't he? It's the first playoff game of 2021 for them. So he could become 2-1 and 21. I noticed next Sunday would be his 83rd day of his age, that big football number. Like I wrote, to me it looks better if Goff stays on the 44 wins because Packers is 44 and stays on 22 away wins while the Rams stay on 22 playoff wins on the 22 date. I guess I can make that a little bit more clear for people who forget why. So I'll just write it one more time. And if the Packers won this week and next week, if the Packers ended up making it to the Super Bowl, they would be 9-1 at home for the year. They got home field advantage through the playoffs. Buccaneers is 91. Bucks do like that number 91. If the Packers won this week and did play the Saints next week, I have a feeling the Saints would win that game if that happened. But if the Packers won this week and lost next week to the Saints, they would be 8-2 at home. Saints is 82. And I should actually add to this. The only narratives I see for the Rams is them playing next Sunday 30-date numerology and the fact that Rodgers can fall to 10-9 in the playoffs and 5-3 at home. So, yeah, but anyway, if you do see the Rams upset the Packers, which is possible, I'd bank on the Saints knocking off the Bucks, which is... But again, I'm having trouble with that because it's like, how could they line up all that stuff with Brady and the teams and the Super Bowl? So realize when it gets to the playoffs, the scripts are always tight. That's why you got to go with those things that you've been knowing and tracking all year. And that's the other thought, too. That's why I ranked the most likely Super Bowl at the start of the year, Chiefs and Bucks. And if I had a number 2, it would be the State Farm commercials with Aaron Rodgers and Mahomes. And then if there was a third, I'd say Chiefs and Saints. Remember what did happen in New Orleans last year that happened 112 days before the Super Bowl? The Hard Rock Hotel collapsed in New Orleans because the Super Bowl was in Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. And 112 days before the Super Bowl that happened, Super Bowl's 112, Chiefs is 112. I think it happened the exact same day that episode of Ballers came out with The Rock, because that was 112 days before the Super Bowl too, where he buys the Chiefs. So, you know what? Just while I have that thought in my head, let's check some out real quick. New Orleans Hard Rock Hotel collapse date. I just want to see. It was October 12th. Hold on. Let me double check to make sure it was 112 days. Maybe that's what I was thinking is the 1012. October 12th, 2019. The Super Bowl last year was on the 33rd day of the year, 2/2/2020. Patrick 33. Okay, so it was actually 113 days before the Super Bowl. It was the 1012. The Ballers episode must have came out the next day. But let's see, 2/7/2021. I don't see anything super interesting with those numbers. 484 days. Okay, the Ravens and the Bills. Ooh, this game is very iffy to me. The Bills could hit that Jesuit number either way with a win or a loss. With a loss, they'd be 14-4. With a win, 15-3. Jesuit orders 144 and 153. The Ravens, I don't really see anything major in their record. Make sure I didn't miss anything. Double check here at the cheat sheet. Or actually, there is something there, isn't there? It's Buffalo. It's Buffalo if they lost. Buffalo's 126. If the Ravens lost, they'd be 12-6. My man with the ticket. I would really take that 20,000. Whoops. Okay. If the Ravens were going to get past the Bills and it wasn't a numbers thing, it could go back to the story that began last season, the year of the black quarterback with Mahomes and Lamar Jackson shaking hands. Remember last year, first day of Black History Month, Lamar Jackson wins league MVP. Next day, Mahomes wins the Super Bowl and Super Bowl MVP. And like we talked about before that season began, when that article came out, it coded Black History Month in the headline. Black History Month, it made a lot of sense when those two things happened. So actually, the Ravens could fall to 12-6, man. Buffalo 126. Again, for people who are new here, these ciphers, the alphabetic order and the alphabetic order in rules numerology, they are a lot more consistent than the reverse alphabetic order where Buffalo's 126 and the reverse alphabetic order at the rules numerology. But all of these can matter. It's just like Phillip Rivers last week when he had the chance to tie or take the lead with the final drive against the Colts. Right at the beginning when he took the field, they put up the stat on the screen. Phillip Rivers has 36 game-winning drives in his career. I knew right there it was over. Buffalo 36. And you could just see, Phillip Rivers threw just... The term isn't a brick in football, but man, if you wanted to use that term for football, he was throwing some bricks on that last drive. Just some horrible passes. Way off target. Uncatchable balls. So, I have trouble believing you're in the NFL and you throw footballs like that. Unless you're getting paid millions for the scripted outcomes. Anyway, Ravens could fall to 12-6. That actually is right there. If the Bills did win, they'd get that fourth win in the 10th game between these teams. 10 is the fourth triangular number. So, it's another thing that could go for the Bills. A little math connection in the head-to-head. And this will be the 33rd playoff game for the Bills. If you write out 33, I could have sworn I already wrote this out. If you write out 33, it equals... Oh, shit. No, that's not what I mean. If you write out 16, it equals 33. They could get their 16th win. And... Wait a minute. These games are on the 16th, aren't they? They sure are. That would be the thing about the Packers falling to 5-3, too, on what we were talking about if they went down, or Rodgers falling to 5-3 at home in the playoffs on the 16th, because 53 is the 16th prime. All right, so game on 16th. So in the 33rd game, and 33 and 16 have a relationship, the Bills can get the 16th win on the 16th. Yeah, I just don't know. The Ravens would also stay on 16 playoff wins. So it's their 27th playoff game. They're playing Buffalo. Buffalo's 27 in that most pure cipher. Jackson, this is going to be his 41st game. Baltimore is 41. And I suppose he could stay on 16 away wins on the 16th. There's a lot of 16s lining up here in favor of the Bills. And it is Jackson's fourth playoff game. If he lost, he would be 1-3 on the 13-date numerology, plus Baltimore's 41, 13th prime. So that has a little rhyme and reason to it as well. And it's going to be Allen's 45th game. Buffalo Bills is 45. That reminds me of my PTSD from the Russell Wilson Bills game. And he can get his 16th win too, can he? Jesus. 16th? That's a lot of 16s, man. That is a lot of 16s. Holy smokes. So Allen can get his 16th home win. Jackson can stay on 16 away wins. The Ravens can stay on 16 playoff losses, and the Bills can get their 16th playoff win. All on the 16th. My man. One more time if you're out there, man. Woo! I mean, I will feel really bad if your ticket goes all the way and it could have been $200 and some thousand, but man, $20,000 guaranteed before this game plays. I think that's that tortoise and the hare approach. Not trying to become a millionaire, but taking that sure money when it's there. And who knows, maybe he even got a better offer since then. So that is a lot of 16 though. My oh my. Also, if Allen did win, he'd win on his 241st day of his age, and he would advance to the next week. The next week's games are on 24/1. So that's also a little bit interesting there. And Harbaugh got to 11-7 in the playoffs. Buffalo Bills won 17. We talked about this, how if he hit that record, he'd face the Bills with that 11-7 record. It's happening. Games on his 116th day of his age on 11/6. McDermott, the Bills coach, is 1-2 in the playoffs on the 13-date numerology. He could fall to 1-3. At the same time, Ravens is 79, the 22nd prime. He could get to 2-2 versus the Ravens. And yeah, I'm going to add here for the notes. There are a lot of 16s that go in favor of the Bills on the 16th. So really, that's what I take away when I look at these notes, is just how many 16s are there. I mean, isn't that a lot of 16s? I don't think anyone's going to disagree. One more time. Bills, on the 16th, the Bills can get the 16th playoff win, leave the Ravens on 16 playoff wins, leave Jackson on 16 away wins, and Allen can get his 16th home win. And I suppose 167, 39th prime, New York 39, the Raven 39. The Ravens are named after the Raven poem. But he could become 16-7 at home, like 167, the 39th prime. The Jets' only Super Bowl win. They won 16-7. All the New York Super Bowls, 4 for the Giants, 1 for the Jets, come back to 39. Bills aren't in that winners club. But yeah, that is a lot of 16. Okay, the Sunday games. Now, what's interesting about these Sunday games is the games are on the 17th and on 59-date numerology. And, of course, 59 is the 17th prime number. So it's going to be the 17th. Well, we'll get to it. There's a big 17 in one of the matchups. You got 23-date numerology that day as well, the 9th prime. You got 14-date numerology. You got 39-date numerology. And you got Ohio, Browns from Ohio, the 17th state. And Arrowhead Stadium is 72. Chiefs can become 7-2 at home. And Mahomes has that 82 connection if they win both their home games and advance to the Super Bowl. But Chiefs can become 7-2 at home. And oh, by the way, Kansas City, Missouri, 241. Remember the other year when Prince's brother died in Kansas City? He died on the 241st day of the year, leaving 124 days remaining. They like that number in Kansas City. So if the Chiefs are playing next week, they're hosting in Kansas City, Missouri as the top seed on 24/1, January 24th. And let's see. Either team can pick up a 7. The Chiefs can get the 7th home win, or the Browns can get their 7th away win. I'm pretty sure it'll be the Chiefs getting the 7th home win, because if the Browns lose, they are 6-4, and Kansas City Chiefs is 64 in the most pure cipher. And for people who are new here, you can look this up. Right now, the Chiefs in Super Bowls, they've scored 64 points, and they have 62 points scored against them in Super Bowls. And notice the last team they played was the 49ers, 64-62. And you'll notice Kansas City Chiefs is 64 in that same cipher. And remember, Patrick Mahomes beat Len Dawson's 1964 touchdown passing record exactly 64 weeks before the Super Bowl last year. And at that game, his girlfriend and her father were in attendance, and his father dropped dead in the stands. I think somebody put something in his popcorn or his soda. But last year's Super Bowl was synced up with the 64th birthday of Doug Williams, the first black quarterback to ever win the Super Bowl with the Redskins. And then the Chiefs win it, and then the Redskins name's too racist, so they changed it. And then it was synced up also with the 64th birthday of Joe Montana, who wore 19 with the Chiefs. And then the Chiefs won the 2019 season. But the Super Bowl last year, Super Bowl 54, was 131 days from Joe Montana's 64th birthday. And again, we called it the Joe Montana Bowl. And it was actually a gentleman named Bobby in week 3 who called in and had that, not this year, but the year before. He saw it in the Steelers and Niners game. There was a huge 50 ritual on September 22nd, and last year was the 50th Super Bowl of the modern era, and Chiefs is 50 and San Francisco's 50. But he had that really good observation about how the Niners got their 229th regular season win of but he called in before it could happen. He said if the Niners beat the Steelers this week, they'll get their 229th win of the modern era on 22/9, when 229 is the 50th prime, and Pittsburgh's 50 and San Francisco's 50. And we said right then, we're like, oh man, God, are the Niners going to be there? And we said you might want to put in a future for Chiefs-Niners, because we're already looking at the Chiefs in the AFC. And then when the playoffs came around, Jeremy White was all over the Niners and the Chiefs. And him and I almost got to cry on each other's shoulder the day of the Super Bowl. We were right next to each other in New Orleans watching it. The miraculous comeback for the Chiefs in the fourth quarter. But it was looking ugly for a second on that interception. We looked at each other like, oh shit, are we wrong about this? Turned out we weren't. But yeah, I see the Browns falling to 6-4 away is what I'm trying to tell you. That long-winded story right there. And I see the Chiefs getting to 7-2 at home at Arrowhead Stadium as well, is what I'm trying to tell you. And you got 14-date numerology as well. Chiefs can get the 14th win versus the Browns head-to-head. 14th win on the 14-date numerology. Browns can stay on 17 playoff wins. Doesn't that make a lot of sense on this Super 17 date? And the Chiefs can also get their 14th postseason win, also on the 14-date numerology. So you got a double 14 going for the Chiefs. 14th win versus the Browns. 14th playoff win. Boom, boom. And best thing going for the Browns there is Mayfield potentially staying on the 14 away losses. My guess is he picks up his 15th against number 15. But here, I'll write it down just to be fair. 14-date numerology going against number 15. Does anyone wonder why Baker Mayfield does so many commercials? I know that guy won the Heisman by the numbers, but God, isn't he like the most forced superstar there ever was? Nothing about Baker Mayfield impresses me. Patrick Mahomes impresses me because he can just break every mechanic there is as a quarterback and still throw the ball nice. I feel like there's like a mechanical arm inside his body, like he's the Terminator. Okay, Mayfield can also get his 23rd loss on the 23-date numerology. Let's see. Okay, Mayfield's 1-0 in the playoffs. I think it's a good day to become 1-1. And, I see something with Mahomes. 43 14th prime can get 43rd win on 14-date numerology. That goes with those other 14s. So the Chiefs can pick up those 14s, and Mahomes can get his 43rd win, the 14th prime. And don't forget, I mean, that's a special combo there, 43 and 14, because football's 43. There used to be a 14-game season. Keep in mind, next year they're thinking about making it 17 games, the 7th prime. The only two guys who can pick up a 7 in the playoffs are Brady with the 7th ring or Mahomes with his 7th playoff win. If Mahomes wins the Super Bowl, he'll win his 7th playoff game. He's 4-1 right now in the playoffs. And this game's 122 days after his birthday. Kansas City 122. San Francisco's also 122. National Football League 122. Last year, the Super Bowl was the 122nd game for Reed with the Chiefs. And Reed can stay on 14 all-time losses in the playoffs with Kansas City. Or no. 14 all-time playoff losses, period. That's Kansas City and the Eagles. This would be the only scare, is that he could get his 43rd loss with KC, the 14th prime. But if they are going to have a Chiefs-Bucks Super Bowl, I've been really thinking about if there's a Chiefs-Bucks Super Bowl, because that's the scenario I hate the most, even though I think it's my top scenario, because it would make it really hard to determine who the Super Bowl winner is. But I did notice if the Bucks won all their playoff games and won the Super Bowl, they would be 10-9. And Tampa Bay Buccaneers is 109, and 109 is the 29th prime, and football equals 29 and 43, and of course Brady's 43 this year. So that'd be interesting if Reed faced Brady in the Super Bowl. I think that would be another indicator right there. You know what else? He would go in with 98 wins. Tom Brady's 98. His record with KC could be 98 and 43 if he faced Brady and lost. 43-year-old Tom Brady. So, anyway, the most surprising outcome for any game this weekend would be if the Browns beat the Chiefs. My mind would absolutely be blown. I'd probably just quit decoding sports if that happened. Again, I'm going to be surprised if the Chiefs aren't in the Super Bowl in the AFC. So, okay. Okay, Bucks and Saints. So here's our last game of this divisional round weekend. And the Saints right now, they're 13-4 for the year, right? So if they won, they'd be 14-4. New Orleans is 144. Drew Brees is 144. Jesuit Order's 144. And the first two meetings of Brady and Brees got Jesuit number tributes. The first game of the season between the two, remember how many there were? It was like, they were like stacked in 4 different categories. It was like, holy Jesuit ritual. That game was so easy to call, that first Saints versus Bucks game. But there could be another big Jesuit ritual if the Saints beat the Bucks one more time. But then that goes against the whole thing that we've been documenting with the hockey and baseball teams. And I suppose if the Bucks did get eliminated and they didn't make it to the Super Bowl, I guess we'd go, well, I guess the reason they synced up those teams with the football championship in light of Brady coming over. Because remember, both rituals that we documented with the Tampa Bay teams, it was the Tampa Bay Rays versus the Boston Red Sox, and it was the Tampa Bay Lightning versus the Boston Bruins in the year that Brady goes from Boston to Tampa Bay, TB to TB. And I guess they both made it to championships, right? The Lightning won and the Rays lost in the World Series. But I just struggling thinking that, okay, they're going to do that and then not have the man who it's all centered around be in the big game. I mean, I'm just really struggling with that. So even though there's some serious red flags here for the Bucks in this game, I'm still thinking that that's got to be the top riddle. So right now, the Bucks are 7-2 away for the season. If they did win, they would be 8-2. Saints is 82. But the Saints are 7-2 at home for the year. Thus, they could become 8-2. So pick your poison. And again, if the Saints win, they're 14-4. I think I'm going to do something real quick here. Let me add in one more thing. Brees got Jesuit tributes first 2 games versus Brady. Okay. Oh, the Saints could also get that 14th win of the season on the 14-date numerology, and I guess they'd do it over 43-year-old Brady. Brady is 43, 14th prime. So, again, there are some things there for the Saints, no doubt about it. Going to be the 59th game between these teams on the 59-date numerology on the 17th. I'll be surprised if somebody doesn't score 17 points in this game. And again, just for like those prop bet scenarios, like say that let's just say that like it's kind of a defensive battle the first half. If somebody's got the ball and the score's 10-7, and there's a prop bet out there for what the outcome of the drive is going to be this last drive of the half, if there's a prop bet for a touchdown, I would take that prop bet because very likely at halftime somebody's got 17 points. And again, that's the reason to be aware of the date and the numbers. So, and same time, if the score was like that late in the game, I'd be thinking that on the drive somebody's going to hit 17. So, but 59th game, 59-date numerology, 17th prime, 17th of the month. The Bucks are 7-9 in the playoffs. We know Tampa Bay's 79, just like how they beat Washington, who came into the game 7-9. And if they did win the Super Bowl, they would be 10-9. And I learned how to do something while I was doing this post by accident, so I'm going to start doing this from now on. I realized if I hold Shift and hit Enter, you see how it tightens it up instead of the bigger gap? I think it's just easier to read that way, so I'll start doing that from now on. But yeah, I mean, there's a real narrative there for the Bucks to win the Super Bowl and hit that 10-9 mark. And Saints are 10-12 in the playoffs. 10-12. Those numbers aren't exactly helping me out, though, with the date or the matchup. So, I guess if I'm just trying to think here, year of Super Bowl 55. We know 55 is the 10th triangular number and Fibonacci number. And verse Tom Brady, number 12. So you could actually make an argument either way there. I guess it's not that helpful. Brady, it's his 342nd game. He's 261-80. You know what? Does Saints have the 80 connection as well? It does. It does. Okay. He could stay on 80 losses, I suppose. You know what else? God, if he won 2 more games, that would put him in the Super Bowl. And think about how many wins he'd have. 263, the 56th prime, the coronavirus season. Okay. 2 more wins gives him 263, the 56th prime, coronavirus 56. Just like how we predicted at the beginning of the year, top record in the NFL, they should be 14-2 because coronavirus also 142. And hold on. Who is the home team for Super Bowl 55? I got to know this actually. No, that's... You know how either the AFC or the NFC is the home or away team? I can't remember who was home last year. That's not what I want. AFC or NFC? I know that this information's out there. Okay, the Chiefs were the designated home team for Super Bowl 54 So that means... it's not going to work then. That means the NFC will be the home team this year. I was just spotting that Brady, if he were to win 3 more games on the road, he'd get 116. Remember, his full name equals 116. Tampa, Florida's 116. The Rays were just in the 116th World Series. Okay. It's not going to be quite. Okay. So this is going to be Brady's 43rd playoff game. 43, 14th prime, 43 years old. And he's 31-11, 9-4 away. So I don't see anything real crucial with those numbers in terms of playing the Saints. Well, Saints is the good number with the Saints is 19, but when you use the rule with S, they do equal 37 as well, which is the 12th prime. He could technically, I guess, get his 12th playoff loss. Last week he got his 31st win, scoring 31 points. And for Breeze, his next home win is 101. So isn't that interesting? And of course, Louisiana's 101. If he did win, he'd stay on 54 losses as well, and New Orleans is 54. So there's a little rhyme and reason in Breeze's record to get by Brady, despite everything we know. And keep in mind, if he goes down and gets that 55th loss, if he gets that 55th loss, and we do get the Bucs-Chiefs Super Bowl, I think that's a good sign for Brady, too. Just the fact that he gave old man Breeze his 55th loss en route to Super Bowl 55 in his own stadium. Again, Tom Brady's Mr. First, right? He'd be the first ever quarterback to lead a team to win a Super Bowl in their own stadium. It's never happened. And like I've been saying all year, it's the coronavirus season. And since it'll be midwinter, they could be saying, wow, it's really actually good it worked out this way this year, because it'll be funny if they don't even allow attendance at the Super Bowl. We'll see if they do that. They'll tell us just how bad the next year is going to get. But Breeze does have some numbers there. So, and then Breeze, he's 9-8 in the postseason, 7-3 at home. And if he did lose, he'd be 9-9. He would be 9-9 with a loss. Drew Brees 99. If he won, though, he'd be 8-3 at home. New Orleans, Louisiana 83, and I think it's Tampa Bay's 40. It's Tampa Bay Rays that are 74. Tampa Bay Rays are also 43, like Brady's 43 this year. Here, just real quick. The World Series ended on October 27th. I just want to see. This game's 82 days after the World Series ended, and Saints is 82. But remember that 82 could go either way. Okay. So Breeze with New Orleans, it's his 245th game. He's 151-93. I do see something in that, actually. Pandemic is 151, and coronavirus pandemic is 94. If they want to go some pandemic numbers. His next win, though, at home is 85. Brady's 85. So is National Football League. It's Brees' 17th playoff game with New Orleans on, again, the 17-date numerology. Or not, on the 17th of the month, and the 59-date numerology, the 17th prime. And the other 17 was the 59th game between these two teams. But if Breeze did lose, he would be 9-7. And the other thing that's beyond just the 98 for New Orleans Saints, Tom Brady's also 98. So, big number with Tom Brady for his career. And Arians is 1-0 in the playoffs with Tampa Bay, 2-2 all time. He's 19-15. Wait, we do have 23-date numerology, don't we? Could fall to 2-3 on the 23-date. And Brady equals 23 in the most pure cipher. Okay, Arians is 19-15 with Tampa Bay, 69-46-1 all time. Well, he could stay on those 19 wins versus the Saints. And Sean Payton's 9-7 in the playoffs. If he loses, he will be 9-8. New Orleans Saints 98. One more time, Tom Brady 98. And it's 19 days after his birthday, which is interesting. Remember, he was the first person connected to the NFL to get COVID-19, Saints 19. If I remember right, it was 82 days after his birthday. Saints is also 82, as is COVID. Okay. But yeah, I mean, the numbers in that game are such a teeter-totter, it'll just give you a headache. So it's I mean, honestly, in terms of numbers, it actually looks like there's more there for the Saints than the Bucks, but I just keep coming back to, okay, I've been in this situation. See, in years past I've ran into this and I haven't even sweated it because I've just been so confident about a team being in the Super Bowl or a championship. And I just don't have that level of confidence, even though there really are some strong things there that we've documented with the Bucks, again, connecting baseball and hockey. And I think part of the reason I don't have the confidence is just because, again, it never has happened before with the team playing in their own Super Bowl, but it could be Brady, the first guy to do it. So, okay. Now, with regards to the conference championship games and looking a week ahead, they're on January 24th, 2021. That date can be written 24/1, like 241, the 53rd prime. Think of what happened with the Saints and Rams year of SB 53. So that really is a narrative to think of. I might do a small parlay card with the Rams and the Saints. I mean, I wouldn't bet a lot on it because I really do favor both teams. But I think if I'm saying I favor both teams on the other side of that equation. But I do think if you see the Rams upset the Packers, which I am doubting, but if it did happen, I'd be thinking this is what they're doing. They're bringing back this scenario from the year of Super Bowl 53 so that the Saints can avenge it in the year where Drew Brees was 41 years old the majority of that year. Drew Brees is going to turn, hold on, I think his birthday is like, it might even be today. When is his birthday? It's his birthday today. Yeah, today he turned 42. So the majority of the year he was 41. Super Bowl's 41. Remember, Tom Brady was 41 years old the year of Super Bowl 53. So let me just write this out more. Tom Brady was 41 that year. Brees was 41 most of this season. Now, the key distinction was Tom Brady was 41 through all of that season and the Super Bowl, and now Drew Brees has turned 42. So, is this where it ends? Nola's 42. Remember the LSU Tigers scored 42 points in the Super Bowl or not Super Bowl, but the college championship, January 13th, 2020. It's on the 54 date in New Orleans, 54. Like how Brees is sitting on 54 career losses right now. But, again, if the Saints do end up sneaking into the Super Bowl, I would be taking the AFC in a big way. Because I don't see how Drew Brees misses his 55th loss in Super Bowl 55 if that's what they're going to do. And remember, the Saints are the most Catholic symbolism in all of American sports, and it really is the year of the Catholic takeover. So that is one more reason I've ranked the Saints third in the NFC, and I still got them there in my mind, but I've just been thinking about it more because just in case. Okay, so now here's our potential scenarios for next week. If we have the Packers and Bucks meet each other, what screams out to me about this potential matchup right here with the Packers and Bucks is that it's the 57th game between these teams. Remember, last year it was Lock City in the divisional round. We knew the Niners and the Packers were winning their game because we knew they were going to meet in the NFC Championship because it was 57 days after their last meeting. And then in the NFC Championship, they ended up scoring 57 points against each other. But for people who are new here, if you write out 57 as a word, it equals the same thing as championship, the same thing as Super Bowl. And this will be the NFC Championship this game. So 57 is a number always hanging around championships. Like, for example, if you write out World Series, it's 57. If you write out NBA Finals, it's 57. They just always bring this number together, whether it's the NHL or the NFL or the NBA or the MLB. It's just always hanging around championships. So that screams out to me. So it'd be the 57th meeting between the Packers and Bucks if that is what happens. And again, last year, Packers and Niners played each other 57 days after they played in the regular season, and then you had 57 combined points in the game. And also, the Bucks beat the Packers October 18th, 2020. They had a good riddle for that game. And what's interesting about that game is it was 98 days before the conference championship. Tom Brady's 98. Tom Brady, 98. And you could also say it's a span of 99 days. NFC Championship games 99. So that's got some wheels right there if the Packers and the Bucs face each other. Packers and Saints, they've never met in the playoffs. It would be the 27th game between the two teams. The Packers are 17-9 and they're 10-3 at home. The Packers would be at home in that game. Packers are the 1 seed, so they'd be at home against either team. And the thing is, if Tom Brady, if Tom Brady is playing up in Green Bay, then the cold's not going to be a factor, right? That'll be the narrative. They're like, ooh, a lot of people struggle in Green Bay, but Tom Brady, he's used to playing, he has many years in the playoffs in the cold, playing in Boston. So to me, this just isn't as interesting right here, this Packers and Saints matchup. But they did play each other this year, and I remember this game. I got quizzed on the streets by the kids at Gonzaga. They said, who's winning Sunday Night Football tonight then? And I said, oh, easy. I said, this is Aaron Rodgers tonight. He'll get his 126th win in New Orleans, 126. And sure enough, he did. He that game was no question. But anyway, they did play on that big Jesuit day, September 27th, 2020. That's the day the Jesuits were recognized by Rome. That game was 119 days before the conference championship game. I mean, those kind of things are interesting about it, just the day that they played on that Jesuit day and the Jesuit Catholic Church takeover year. But still, if I look between these two things right here, the 57th game is my championship number. The spacing, even though 119 is an interesting number, to me, this one has more rhyme and reason to it. Tom Brady loves 98. NFC Championship game 99. I mean, that just looks more like it to me right there. So, if the Packers and Bucs win, you got that. And other possible scenarios, Bucs and Rams. The Bucs are 0-2 versus the Rams in the playoffs. I don't think this is going to be the scenario. They're 0-1 at home. It would be the 27th game as well. The Bucs are 9-17 versus the Rams, 7-9 at home. They did play each other this year. The Rams won 27-24 on November 23rd, 2020. That game was 62 days before the conference championship, and Tampa Bay Buccaneers is 62. And, if you want to get even cuter, Buccaneers alone is also 62. So, it's kind of interesting, but that could just be telling us that, the Bucs are going to be there, not maybe the Rams. And then the Saints and Rams, I could see that if the Rams get past the Packers somehow, if that happens, I think, again, I just feel like they got to bring this scenario back. So, Saints and Rams are 1-1 in the playoffs. And it'd be the 78th game. That's a Jesuit number. Saints are 34-43, 18-20 at home. Notice they could get that 19th win. So if they played the Rams, they get that 19th win at home to go to the Super Bowl. And if they met again, it would be 105 weeks after the Saints lost to the Rams in the playoffs. You're a Super Bowl 53. 105 is the 14th triangular number. I don't know if I just documented that, but I was looking at it, I was like, I don't exactly see how that connects with the conference championship, but maybe I'm missing something. I guess if I can say anything, 105, 14th triangular number, and LA's 14, but if that does happen, it'll be the Saints all the way. It will be the Saints all the way. Well, until they lose in the Super Bowl. Okay, and then the AFC. Chiefs and Bills. That would give us a rematch of a matchup we had this year. Chiefs are 1-2 versus the Bills in the playoffs. It would be the 50th game between the two teams. Chiefs are 22-26-1 and 13-12 at home. Chiefs is 50. We know they like that number. They won the Super Bowl last year, the 50th Super Bowl of the modern era. And the Chiefs did beat the Bills earlier this year, 26-17. I think that game was more of a... I don't think that game was very close. I think the Bills scored late in the game and made it closer, but I remember the Chiefs, if I remember right, were controlling that game. It was October 19th. Let me think about that. That's the day leaving 73 days left in the year. It was 97 days before. I'll do it this way. 97 days before conference championship. Let's just write that out there. 97 is the 25th prime, but I don't think either team really has a 27 or 25 connection. It'd be as... Oh, hold on. Is Kansas City Chiefs also 98? Oh, yeah. That's what I'm missing. There it is. It's a span of 98 days as well. This makes a lot of sense to me now. Kansas City Chiefs 98. Okay. So, yeah, I think that's what it's going to be. I think it's going to be the Chiefs and the Bills, man. We saw all those 16s in that Bills-Ravens game. There are a lot of 16s to go against if you're on the Ravens side. So, and if it is Ravens and Chiefs, then it's that storyline that started at the beginning of last season. But the numbers are really there for Chiefs and the Bills. Okay, the Chiefs are, if it was Chiefs and Ravens, Chiefs are 0-1 versus the Ravens in the playoffs. It would be the 12th game. Chiefs are 7-4 versus the Ravens, 2-3 at home. Chiefs beat the Ravens 34-20 on September 28th, 2020. And that game was 118 days or a span of 119 before January 24th, 2021. 54 points in that game. So that's just, it doesn't have as much meat as this one right here. It doesn't have as much meat as the Chiefs and the Bills, in my opinion. And just the 50th game, too, big symbolic number for the Chiefs right there, 50. So, played San Francisco 50 last year. Okay, Browns and Bills, I don't see this being the matchup, but just in case. Bills are 0-1 versus the Browns in the playoffs, 0-0 at home. Be the 23rd game. The Bills are 9-13 versus the Browns, 5-5 at home. Guess that'd be like the only thing. It's just the symbolism of Super Bowl 55, and they're 5-5 at home coming in. But I'm not seeing it. They did play each other November 10th, 2019. That was the last time they played. That was 63 weeks before January 24th, and Buffalo is 63. So I'll be real surprised if that's the matchup regardless. And the Browns and the Ravens, no playoff history. It would be the 45th game between the two teams. Of course, the Browns did become the Ravens in history when the Browns lost their team for a period of time. But it'd be the 45th game, and the Ravens are 33-11 and 17-5 at home. They did play twice this year because they're division opponents. Ravens won both games. First game was 133 days before the conference championship. Football's 133. Second game was 41 days before Baltimore 41. So, But again, to me right here, Chiefs and Bills, that one's got some real meat right there. And I suspect that is what the matchup is. Chiefs and Bills for the AFC championship. And the NFC championship's iffier. It is iffier. But that 57 would come together if it was Packers and Bucks. So with that said, I'm going to shut up, and I'm going to take your calls the rest of the way. And 1 second here while I get the phone line open. But let me make sure I got the right number on the screen. Yep, it's that number on the screen, 509-560-4982. And I almost have the line open here. And it is open. So if you want to call in, the line is open. And I will check in with the chat while we wait on the first call. If you guys got here late, at the beginning we talked about how Jeremy White, great member of the community, he's put together a Bitcoin online gambling sports guide. If you want to use crypto or just your regular old currency, he's put together a real nice tutorial, and Jeremy's been doing this for a long time. Jeremy's been with us since Super Bowl 50. That's how he got here. What's up, caller?
Hey, what's up, Zach? I saw something on NFL.com. You remember last year when they had like a Christmas picture last year?
I do, and the only two guys in the game outfits in the big picture with all the NFL players was a Chiefs player and a 49ers player. What do you see?
Okay, if you go to NFL.com and you click on the playoffs tab, you're going to see pretty much an illustration, which is it's ridiculous. Like they're pretty much showing you the teams that are going to advance, and the teams that didn't advance are towards the back of the picture. You got to see this.
Okay, so I'm on the playoffs tab. Now what do I click?
Okay, once you go to the playoffs tab, you should see the illustration. It should say Road to Super Bowl, and you're going to see the illustration. It's right on top. If not, I could put it in the link, the chat for you, and you can just click on it.
Okay, when I click the playoffs tab, I get a bunch of different articles to choose from.
I just put the link for you.
You did? Because I don't see any link in the chat. What's your name in the chat?
The W.
Your name's the W?
Yes.
I don't see anyone called the W.
That's weird. But, yeah, man, it's right there. I'm looking right at it. You go to NFL.com and you hit on playoffs.
Well, are you on a cell phone?
Actually, is there a Super Bowl tab on there? No, I'm not on a cell phone. I'm on a laptop.
Okay. NFL.com playoffs tab.
Yeah.
Okay, I click that, and then it doesn't change any image, but it says like divisional round game picks, NFC divisional round preview, AFC divisional round preview, Kurt Warner's top 3 QBs, D'Angelo Hall's top 3 wide receiver CB matchups, etc., etc. But what's the name of this article I'm looking for? Maybe I got to scroll down further.
All it is it's the playoff tab. It just shows you the divisional games for the weekend, and it has a little paragraph, and then it has the illustration right on top. I'm looking at basically.
Oh, okay. Here. Now, so up on the top, there's a playoffs tab too. Okay, so it shows us Buffalo, Green Bay at the very end of it.
Yeah, but it shows you the Final Four. If you see the Final Four, it does show Green Bay and Buffalo towards the front, but I'm looking at the Final Four.
Okay, so
you could see the Chiefs, the Saints, the Bills, and the Packers. And, you could play with the numbers. You could say it's the year of the coronavirus. You add that 15 plus 41, you get 56. So that's a possibility right there. But then again, you see the Packers and Bills towards the end, and it's kind of weird how they picked the Bills kicker. Last time the Bills played in Tampa, they missed the kick for the Super Bowl. So I don't know if that's... Yeah. Right. And another thing, too, with the Bills, which is a possibility, is I called in on one of your YouTube shows, and I was throwing the 27 at you, but I was off subject. But now you're saying the Bills could give the Chiefs the 27th loss all time in the series, and I was telling you about that 27 with the Bills this year. I'm not trying to persuade no one. It's just what I'm seeing with the 27. It keeps repeating itself.
The Super Bowl's on 2-7. Okay.
Well, yeah, the Super Bowl's on 2-7. They were the number 2 seed last week. They beat the number 7 seed with 27 points. And if they play the Chiefs next week, there's a possibility that 27 could play in the all-time series. I just see a lot of 27s. I'm not saying that that's going to happen. I'm just seeing a repeating number this year,
Okay.
I think also Buffalo, New York equals 102. The Bills owner is 102 and 201 in the purest cipher. So there's a lot going on there with the Bills. Not saying that's just what I'm seeing.
Sure. Yeah. I'm not going to go against the Chiefs. Again, they got the Super Bowl numbers. Those are the numbers I always look for. They haven't failed me a single year I've been doing this yet with the 131-41. So
I'm looking at this. I'm leaning more towards Chiefs, Saints. But if the Bills do advance, we'll have an idea of why with that 27. That's all. I'm not saying the 27 is going to hit, but it keeps playing with the Bills, and the Super Bowl's on 2-7. So.
Here, let's see. You know what? I'm looking at how Kamara, because when I look at this drawing, what I notice is like the two players that are the closest to me when I look at this drawing are Mahomes and Kamara. And they did that they did that huge ritual with Mahomes with Kamara on Christmas. So, and I'm just thinking, okay, 15 and 41, that's 56 as well.
Exactly.
Let me see Kamara's birthday here real quick. Let me see. July 25th. Ooh, he's got an interesting birthday for the Super Bowl. 25/7, like 257, the 55th prime. Let me see.
Who's that?
What?
Who's that? Who are you talking about?
Kamara.
Oh, Camaro! Wow. I didn't look into all that. I just thought this illustration. There's something to it, man. They're kind of telling you that
the Super Bowl.
I don't know if this is,
the Super Bowl is 190.
Exactly.
The Super Bowl is 197 days after his birthday, which is the 45th prime, and New Orleans is 45. If the Super Bowl is Chiefs Saints, I mean Chiefs will win this thing. I really want to see the Chiefs win this year because they will be golden to win the Super Bowl next year. I'll have zero doubt that they're winning the Super Bowl in LA and becoming 4-1 all time in Super Bowls in LA if they win this year. So I got to admit,
I got one more 27 for you, and you're gonna laugh at this one.
Okay.
27 years ago, the Bills defeated the Kansas City Chiefs at home to advance to the fourth Super Bowl that they lost 27 years ago. That's something else. Going to be playing with the 27 on top of everything else I told you. So
okay.
just throw that out there, just in case,
Okay. Yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting indeed. But again, I just can't go against the Chiefs. I appreciate you bringing this drawing to our attention. I'm gonna let somebody else get in, but great work, man. Thank you.
Take care. Have a good night. Bye.
See you, man. Caller.
Hi, yeah, I'm actually calling out of Spokane. I'm newer caller, but one thing I wanted to point out that's kind of just surface level is Tom Brady is first year as the Bucs. He went 0-2 this season against the Saints, and he's number 12. So
right, I've been talking about that. How you can become 1-2 against them. Number 12, Tom Terrific. Oh yeah. So
yeah, and that's pretty much like I don't have anything to really add other than that. I was just one thing that I just noticed as soon as I seen that. Because everybody's talking about how he could become or how they could be 0-3 against the Saints this year, but I just don't see that happening. I feel like the Buccaneers are advancing.
Again, we've been documenting since early in the baseball season the rituals that they've been doing, syncing up Tom Brady with the Super Bowl. So. Again, I'm kind of going to be surprised if he's not there, but I am nervous about this weekend's game against the Saints. So, yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, I'm nervous about that game. I'm also kind of iffy about the Rams game as well and the Packers. So I kind of feel like since it's like that Pac-12 ritual as well, I don't know, man.
Well, both of them are Pac-12 quarterbacks. Rodgers and Goff are both played at Cal.
Exactly. I don't know, man. I feel like I'm just going to stay out of that game. I'm not going to bet on either of those games. I just feel like that's an asterisk for me. It just seems like it could go either way just because there might be some other deeper layer that we didn't even see. I feel like they've been getting us with LA lately.
I think the AFC games look a lot easier to me. I'll be real surprised if we don't see the Chiefs and the Bills advance, honestly, at this point. So.
Yeah, I like those two picks a lot. I don't see the Browns at all beating the Chiefs.
And again, for anyone who got here late, there is a lot of 16s that line up if the Bills beat the Ravens on the 16th. So.
Yeah, I want to lean Buccaneers on that Saints game because I went against Tom Brady too many times in the past in the playoffs and it's burnt me. That's even before I knew about Gematria, and I just feel like there's just too much. Like Tom Brady is just that guy in the playoffs.
Well,
that you have to put
here I just want to remind people: be smart with your bets. You don't have to bet a lot of money, and you can cover alternate scenarios. If you feel real good about the Bills and the Chiefs winning, those are the basis for your parlays. You have a parlay right there, and maybe you just do those two teams alone. Maybe that's what you bet the most money on because you just feel real good about that. But then you mix up some smaller bets like, okay, I like these two teams. Now, what's my payout if I take this team in this scenario? And you could cover yourself on all sides of those games, So, again, get creative with your bets. Big Al, who's one of the best in this community, he doesn't bet a lot of money, but he looks at the scenarios, and in some games he'll even take both sides on a parlay because he's like, okay, I know that these two teams are coming through. I'm iffy on this game, so I'm going to make sure I win money on this game no matter what because I'm taking these two teams with both of these teams with two different parlays. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know exactly what you're saying. I've been, sometimes, I take a lot of your knowledge. I've been following you for about a month or so now. I take a lot of your knowledge, and I understand that you're not going to get every single game correct and everything. I take your knowledge, and sometimes, there's something that you don't see that I didn't even see until like 30 minutes before the game started. So I have to go against like what you picked because you didn't see it. But it's not because you're wrong necessarily. I just feel like you just didn't see that.
Well, and sometimes they do throw out like a big gem right before the game that you're not even aware of, and you're like, oh my God, that's the number you're talking about, and they just gave us that stat on the screen, and then you just know. And I mean, that's sometimes why I'm doing that last minute update. I'm like, did you guys just catch this stat? That's got to be it. Like, what was it earlier this year? It was the Cardinals quarterback. They showed how he could become 7-0 in AT&T Stadium, which equals 70 for his entire career, high school, college, and pro. And we just knew that was it. And sure enough, he won and became 7-0 in AT&T Stadium. So,
right, exactly. Yeah, man. I just also wanted to say, like, I appreciate the work, man. I mean, I like that you play devil's advocate on each game because it really puts it more into my hands of like what narrative I want to look more into and stuff like that, and it helps me decode on my own and learn more on my own. And I feel like more people in the community, if they take it more into their hands, like, see what you're saying, but also try to look for narratives more on their own as well to build onto what you're saying. I feel like everybody will be just more empowered about the knowledge that way.
That's why I do it the way I do it. I could just come out here and say I like these games because I looked at the numbers, but I try to show you guys the way I look at it. So that's the point. I appreciate it, man. I'm going to let somebody else get in because he keeps calling over and over, but keep up the good work. Thank you, man.
Oh, yeah, man.
See you. All right, out to Tom Brady land. What's up, Boston?
What's going on, Zay?
Hey.
So I actually have an observation about Tom Brady. So if he wins against Drew Brees, he can become 3-5 versus Drew Brees, like their all-time record against each other.
Are you 100% on that stat?
Yeah.
That is the Tom Brady number. That is the Tom Brady number, but I got to throw one thing at you as a devil's advocate. That means if he lost, he'd be 2-6, and we just know we saw what they did last week with the Browns and Steelers, the huge 26 ritual because it's the 101st season, 101 the 26th prime, Louisiana 101. But Tom Brady sure does love that 35, so.
No, I'm rooting for the Saints, so I hope he loses.
Okay, yeah, fair enough.
I want the Chiefs. I hope the Chiefs take it this year, but yeah. That's all I got.
Yeah. All right, man. Appreciate it. Okay. Yeah, normally, man, Tom Brady and 35 are peas in a pod, but in the 101st NFL season, that 2-6 would not be out of the question because 101 and 26 are also peas in a pod. Let me get Pro Football Reference up here real quick. Here, we got another call first.
Okay.
Caller?
Yo, what's up? So I think the Rams got no chance of winning. I see the Riddles with the 53, but they don't got no chance of winning because if you look, and I started checking out the ATSs. The Packers got the ATS record. They 10-6 against the spread. They become 11-16 against the spread on 1-1-16.
Hold on. Yeah, let's go over those against the spread things real quick. So, team rankings has a good against the spread stats. So, hold on. Let's see what you're saying.
Yeah.
If Green Bay wins, if Green Bay wins and covers, they are 11-6 against the spread, and Packers is 116 on 11-6. That's a really good observation. What's the Rams? Hold on. The Rams are 10-7. That's not as interesting as the Packers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Hold on. But here's the thing, though. If the Packers win and don't cover,
the Buccaneers are winning. If they don't cover, if the Packers do cover, then I think the Saints got it. Because if the Packers win in that game, they become 12-6 against the spread, and they can become 9-1 at home against the New Orleans Saints next week as well too.
Oh yeah, New Orleans. I see what you're saying. So if they won this week and covered, and they won next week and covered, then they'd be 12-6 against the spread against New Orleans, 126. Just like how Rodgers earlier this year got his 126th career win in New Orleans. Okay.
Yep, and don't forget the 9-1 at home. New Orleans Saints equals 91, and they win next week. They become 9-1 at home.
New Orleans Saints equals 91?
Yeah.
It does? Hold on. New Orleans Saints.
It does.
Where? Oh, maybe if you use the S's. Is it with the S's? Yeah, with the S's it would be 91. Okay, so. I see.
Yeah. Yeah, so if the Packers do not cover, then I go with the Buccaneers. Because there's riddles on both sides. But if they don't cover, then if the Packers do cover, then I go with the Saints. That's how you can tell who's winning between the Buccaneers and the Saints game right there, to be honest with you.
Say it again. Say it again, because I'm writing down stuff while you're talking, so I missed part of what you said. Say it again.
Yeah, I'm just saying, if the Packers cover the spread, then bet on the Saints to win. If the Packers do not cover, then bet on the Buccaneers to win. Because there's riddles on both sides, to be honest. But another thing is, you know how you said Drew Brees can get his 55th loss?
Uh-huh.
He could get it in Wisconsin and Lambeau, which equals 55.
Well, that's true. That is true. That is true.
And both the Buccaneers and the Saints got the 37th connection. So the Packers get their 37th playoff win. If you watch ESPN every day, they already basically promoted the Super Bowl between the Packers and the Chiefs.
It'll be the State Farm commercial. So.
Yeah, and also Jared Goff, he's 1-2 against the NFC North. He can become 1-3 with the loss in LA 13 and all that. So there's more digging.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Again,
Sure
I suspect the Packers win the game too. I like them a lot more than the Rams, but I'm saying if the Rams win, then I really feel like the Saints are going to be there because then they're going to rematch Rams and Saints from 2 years ago. So.
Yeah, but I don't I don't lock everything, but I just think that's just a dead on lock. Plus ESPN be trying to hype it up.
Oh,
they got number one defense. They might.
I just noticed something. I just noticed something about Baltimore. Baltimore is 11-6 against the spread, and if they lose, they'll be 11-7. Well, hold on. Yeah, if they don't, okay, so that means if the Bills are the favorite. So if Baltimore loses, they'll be 11-7 against the spread, and Buffalo Bills is 117. And I already like the Bills, so.
Yeah, I think that. Yeah, I was about to discuss that next too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think the only narrative for Baltimore. Here's a narrative for Baltimore. I don't think it's going to happen, but in Madden 21, the video game, the start of the game, they got Lamar Jackson and the Ravens playing at home versus the Chiefs in the AFC Championship game. That's the only narrative I see for Baltimore, to be honest.
Well, beyond that, it's just remember. I don't know if you were here at the start of not this year, but the start of last season. How we looked at that first article that they put out. You're the black quarterback with Mahomes and Jackson shaking hands. So.
Yeah, I was.
Okay.
I was. I'm the one who predicted at the beginning of the season. I called and I predicted Packers versus Chiefs, but I got bamboozled. Yeah, I ended up changing to the 49ers at the end.
You weren't far off. That was close. It was close. It was close.
Yeah.
You were close.
Yeah. Then I end up calling about how it didn't make sense for the Packers to be in the Super Bowl last season, but it makes sense this year because they can become 5-1 if they do win in Tampa, and Tampa equals 51 if they do win.
Oh, hold on. Just about your just in case with the Ravens. I actually just noticed Buffalo's 11-6 against the spread too. So if they won and didn't cover, they would be 11-7. Could be a close game. How much of a favorite are they? They're a 2.5-point favorite. It'd be funny if they didn't cover but won the game. Yeah, if they don't cover, they are 11-7, and Buffalo Bills is 117. So.
Yeah, but I'm staying away for that game. I want to bet on that game, to be honest, because it just Lamar. Like I said, they've been trying to hype up,
Did you hear all the 16s, though? Let's hear this one more time. if on the 16th, the Bills can get their 16th playoff win, keep the Ravens on 16 playoff wins, Jackson can stay on 16 away wins, and Allen can get his 16th home win.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Oh, also,
that's a lot of 16s.
Also, that I forgot. That's something that equals 144 with the Saints. I forgot. 144. I gotta go back and look at it. Cause they can. Hold on. I need to go back and look at it. It's a 144. If the Saints finish the season 14-4. Hold on. Let me go back. Yeah, Drew Brees equals 144. So if they end up winning and then lose, they can finish. Yeah.
No, I've been talking about that. New Orleans and Drew Brees equal 144. So does Jesuit Order. And in both games where Brees beat Brady, he got big Jesuit numbers. So he could do it again if he went 3 for 3 this year.
Yeah, that's why I think. It's all to me. It all depends on if the Packers cover the spread because it makes too much. It's more numbers lining up for Saints versus Green Bay than it does for Tampa. Because the only thing I see with Tampa Bay just is 37-7 if the Packers get their 37 playoff win versus Tampa. But I see more stuff with the Saints than Green Bay than with Tampa. And plus Tampa equals 30 and they can sweep. I don't know. I like the Saints, to be honest with you, over the Bucks. But like I said, if Green Bay don't cover that, I might end up going with the Bucks.
Well, remember what I said about that 57 that could hit, though. That 57 comes together a lot with championships. So that would be if it was Green Bay and Bucks.
And you know what? How do you measure for the Saints and the Packers game in the regular season? You measure for that game to the NFC Championship game.
The Saints and Packers? I did.
Yeah, because they played.
It was 119 days after because they played on the day the Jesuits were recognized by Rome, September 27th. It's 119 days from that game to. Hold on, let me think about that. 119 days is how many weeks? 17 weeks. So it's 17 weeks. 119 days. Cleveland 7-10 against the spread. Ohio has the 117 thing going on. Let's see.
Also, another reason why I think the Packers come out in the NFC because Aaron Rodgers most likely going to win the MVP. And like I said, I called you about this with the Titans or the Bears game, but MVP equals 51 and 15. It's a 51 season of the NFL. I expect the MVP to be in the Super Bowl. I don't see, I see the thing with Tampa being in there, but just because Aaron Rodgers is going to win the MVP, I think he's going to be in the Super Bowl. Basically. So MVP equals 51 and 15.
Okay.
And those are Tampa numbers.
Okay.
And plus, if you look at his stats too, Aaron Rodgers' touchdown passes stats, right now he got 51 total touchdowns entering the Rams game. If he throw 2, he can have a total of 53. LA equals 53.
Okay.
You know? But also, he also said it at 48 passing touchdowns. He got 3 rushing touchdowns. If you just count the passing touchdowns, he had 48. If he throws 3, that'd be 51 passing touchdowns. So,
very interesting.
And the Rams equals 51. So, like I said, the MVP numbers, it fits. Like I said, 51, 15. I just think they're going to be in the Super Bowl.
We'll see. You could be right.
Because if Patrick Mahomes was the MVP, then I would feel so sure about the Chiefs winning the Super Bowl, but I'm not sure about it.
I think the Chiefs will beat just about everybody in the Super Bowl except for the Bucks if that's the matchup. I'd be worried about it if it was against the Bucks. So,
what's the I gotta look at the David Rodgers for the Super Bowl and stuff, but yeah, that's my opinion. So basically, if the Packers cover, because they got to win by 7 points. So if the Packers cover the spread, then I like the Saints. If not, then I like the Bucks. So.
All right. Appreciate it, man. I'm gonna let somebody else get in, but good observations. Thank you.
Right.
Thanks, man.
All right. You're welcome.
See. Caller?
Hey, what's up, Zach?
Hey, what's up, man?
Hey, I don't have much. Just got a couple of things. First thing I wanted to bring up, I don't know if you noticed. So what I did that last week, and I noticed this week. Like this week is week 19. If we like go in orders. So when I type in week 19 or the word 19, both of the home teams have one of the ciphers matches up with them. So like for instance, with Green Bay has 41, like the number 19.
Right.
If you just type in the word number 19, 41, Lambeau Field where they're playing is 41. And then for Buffalo, I think it's Orchard Park is 59. 59. And if you type in week 19, that's 59 too. Then I've been noticing that pattern when you, like whatever week it is. Normally, not so much the winning team, but normally it might be closer to the winning team, where it matches up with the home team that might win as opposed to the home team that won't win.
Right.
And then also too, I don't know if you remember when you were covering Road Warrior Animals when he died. Remember he had the picture of Leonidas is his son that used to play on the Rams.
Right.
And he had the jersey picture of 55.
Right.
So, I mean, I don't think it might be an upset, but it kind of scares me to bet that game because I remember that picture that they posted of him wearing the 55 Rams jersey.
I'm checking real quick from his death to the game. I'm seeing just how long it was. Wow, that is crazy. It's exactly 116 days from his death to the game on January 16th, and Packers is 116. That is wild. That is crazy.
So, yeah, I'm going to probably say if I do anything, it'd be some prop bets. And then also too that 59 in week 19. That's the 17th prime, and so it wouldn't be a bad bet. The only thing is though, I've seen it like work in reverse and like in college. Like a lot of players when they get that when they get that date numerology and they have the same jersey, it's like it's 50-50. Like in the Ohio State game. The running back, he had the date numerology Trey Sermon, and he got injured on the first play.
Huh. Crazy.
And he went out the game. And then the backup running back, he even had a better date numerology because it was 33. He wears 33. His name was Master. It was Master T the third.
Yeah,
the Ohio 33, the master number.
Yeah. Yeah,
and he scored the first touchdown, and he scored multiple touchdowns.
Well, it was on a 33 date numerology that game too, and then I saw that same day that a number 33 for the Kentucky Wildcats dropped dead for no reason. Basketball player and pitcher for Kentucky. So.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that's something to keep it. That's something to keep in mind about upcoming basketball season. Kentucky Wildcats are the 201 team in college basketball, and their player dropped dead the day of the college football championship. So it's got me thinking. Right now, if I had to put in a future for college basketball, I'm taking Gonzaga, Kentucky Wildcats without even knowing anything right now. But because I'll do some more research on
that. That'll be a great bet, Kentucky, because they just lost to Alabama. So right now they probably got some of the worst odds. They're not even ranked.
Kentucky Wildcats aren't?
No, they just lost.
Well, I haven't been paying attention to college basketball. If they're that bad, maybe not. Yeah. But I'm thinking there's got to be something up with the death of that player on the day of the football championship. So might want to research that.
Yeah, I'm looking at that, but I was just like, man, I didn't even think about it. Like his backup running back was Master T, and his Master T the third, and he wears 33. Right. I would have put more money on him.
Well, that was on the 33 date, man.
Touchdowns.
That's why you want to do those players on the dates that they correspond with. Yeah, he had the numbers for that day.
But I did the starting running back from Ohio State. He had the date numerology when he got hurt.
I see.
On the first play.
It was all about Master. It was all about the Master.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't even pay attention to his first name. I was just like, had I just paid more attention, I definitely went with him first.
Yeah, that's interesting. That's interesting.
But no, but that's all I had. I know.
I was just going to say that I noticed that Animal Road Warrior's real name, Joseph Michael Laurinaitis, equals 257, the 55th prime, just like Green Bay, Wisconsin's 257. So that's weird.
So, I mean, maybe the riddle was they were going to make the playoffs and make it all the way to Green Bay.
This could be the end of the road,
maybe
right?
They're not gonna win.
This could be the end of the road for them.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
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 Yeah. I couldn't tell you.
Something.
I mean, it was so many riddles when he passed, like, I couldn't tell you. But, yeah, this might be just the way they lose.
Road Warrior Animal equals 116. Are you kidding me with this? Come on, man.
Yeah. Remember when I called you and I was telling you how it was so much crazy information, like how it even synced up with Chicago, because when they used to wrestle, they never said they were from Minnesota. It was always they were from Chicago, Illinois. And then they showed them with the spikes and everything, and I thought, for a second we thought that was synced up with the Raiders. And then they had a picture of him holding the spikes, and inside the spikes it was Chicago. So maybe it was just all giving you an idea who might be in the playoffs.
Yeah, no, I mean, this is literally 116 days after his death, while the Rams are 11-6 for the year, playing the team that equals 116. And I noticed Road Warrior Animal's also 91, so is Lambeau. Or what is it, Lambeau Field?
Right.
Lambeau Field's also 91. This is probably the end of the road.
Yeah.
This is probably the end of the Road Warrior Animal, so...
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And they're on the road, Road Warriors on the road, playing in Lambeau.
Right.
So yeah.
It's crazy how they do this stuff.
I don't know about that. Yeah, so I couldn't tell you. I probably might stay away from that one.
I'll tell you what, if the Rams win, the Bucks are in big trouble, because I think that's what the only reason I could see the Rams winning is if they want the rematch of the game from 2 years ago where the Saints got screwed over on the no pass interference call. So
that, or they want to keep the whole LA thing going.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, great observation. I appreciate it.
All right, talk to you.
See you, man. Caller.
Hey, how's it going? Is this Zach?
Yeah, it is. What's up?
Alrighty, so I don't got much time, so I'll just drop these on you real quick. I won't go too much back and forth. But one thing I did notice is that, I don't know if you've seen State Farm's most latest clip, but I did DM it to you on Patreon and put it in the comments as well, if you want to pull that up.
You put it in the comment section?
Yep, I put it in the comment section. My name's Frederick. It's a link. It's a Twitter link.
Is somebody banning the people in this room? How come I don't see anybody's links? Here, can you post a comment right now in the chat? Can you just write anything? Just put down a letter.
Yep. 1 moment.
Yeah, I just want to see your thing when you post. And while you're doing that, State Farm commercial. Do you know what the newest commercial's called?
So there's not. I don't know if it's on YouTube. I tried to find it on YouTube, but I don't know what it's called. I'm gonna pull up the Twitter again. It's on the Twitter page of the official verified Jake from State Farm page, and it was posted on January 10th, and it just says the universe has spoken. See y'all on 2/7, Team State Farm.
State Farm, the universe has spoken. Well, the day that was posted can be written 10/1, 101, and 101st NFL season. The universe has spoken. I'm going to see if I can pull it up. Did you post in the chat?
Yep, I posted in the chat. My name's Frederick, and I posted that a little while ago.
Did you did you post the link again, or did you just put an A in the chat?
I put the word caller in the chat, but I'll post the link again.
No, because sometimes a link won't show up. Just Google will automatically block it out. But I don't see anything from you in the chat. Why are your guys' names not showing up in the chat? This is bizarre.
Yeah, that's weird. But I mean, if all else fails, you can just go.
Here, I found the video though. That State Farm, the universe has spoken. See you on 2/7. Here, I'm just gonna put it on real quick. We'll watch it.
Yep.
But yeah, that's weird that you guys are not showing up in the chat.
Rodgers 12 plus Mahomes 15 equals 27. February 7th.
Oh my God, man.
Rodgers 12 plus Mahomes.
Oh my God. Again, that would go in with the whole Pac-12 thing right there too, because Pac-12, it's just, and you know what?
Right.
It's the 51st Super Bowl in the modern era, which is the reflection of 15. But yeah, that's what I've been saying as of lately, man. That my top two scenarios are either Chiefs and Bucks or Chiefs and Packers. So yeah.
Right.
Hold on. Did we run the gematria on this? The universe is spoken. Is that what it's called again? Hold on. Unbelievable.
Yep, the universe is spoken.
I got to run the
And
numbers.
what's crazy about that
I got to
is,
run the
like,
numbers.
I feel like at this point they're just putting the truth in plain sight, making a mockery of us.
That's what they always do, man. I actually don't see the
And then
gematria kick with the universe is spoken, but it doesn't necessarily matter. Yeah, I mean,
another comment I have about that is I don't know if I learned this from you or who I learned this from, but I don't know if you know about the MVP curse, but no MVP winner has won the Super Bowl since 1999, Kurt Warner. So another thing I'm thinking about is if this State Farm thing does play out, the two top MVP voters or vote getters are Mahomes and Rodgers. So I would honestly bet against whoever wins MVP because the last 20 years tells us, Cam Newton, he wins MVP, doesn't jump on that fumble against the Broncos. Mahomes wins MVP, loses to Brady. Brady wins, loses to the Eagles. And the last 20 MVP. So I don't know what you think about that one.
I got to think more about that. MVP's 51 and 15, 51st Super Bowl of the modern era. MVP's also 12 if you had number 15 versus number 12. I got to think more about that one. We'll cross that bridge when we got there, but yeah, it's a good point. So
Sounds good. And then one last thing, respectfully, if you don't want me to bring this last thing up before I get off because it's basketball related, I won't. I can just throw it in the chat or you.
just go ahead, man. What's up? What's on your mind?
Okay, this is the last quick one. It's for the Lakers because I do got the Lakers winning the finals. The Lakers added Mark Gasol and Wes Matthews, and just a really funny thing about that is they're going for their second championship in a row. And Pau Gasol, Mark Gasol's brother, won 2 chips with the Lakers, and Wes Matthews' father won 2 chips with the Lakers as well. So I just wanted to throw that out there for your next Laker video or basketball video. So that's all I got.
All right, man. Great observations. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
All right. Take care. See you. All right, you guys, we're going to go about 15 more minutes, and we're going to call it a day. So final thoughts, call in now. And, again, try to hit us with, just one smashing fact, one really great thought. And then we'll call it there, and we'll roll with it. So, caller?
Yeah, I was just want to let you know that I really do like your AFC pick just because I know that there was an article in October that came out that was saying that the Bills actually had a chance to draft Mahomes. I know Mahomes loves to beat the teams that, passed on him. That they actually traded the 10th pick to the Chiefs, and then they ended up drafting number 27, Tre'Davious White, who is their star cornerback. But I was just laughing because you got another 27 connection with the Bills, but obviously I'm still picking the Chiefs. But it's another revenge game. And I like that the Chiefs and the Bills, I do think they're going to meet. I think that the public wants Chiefs-Ravens, but I think that they're going to give it Chiefs-Bills like you've been saying. But I just noticed that I was just laughing at the other 27 connection and the fact that the Bills actually traded the 10th pick to the Chiefs. The Bills basically gave the pick that they could have got Mahomes for. And this was at the time that Allen was sucking and the Bills fans wanted Mahomes.
Okay, I'm going back and looking at that draft. So what's interesting is Mahomes went number 10. That is again.
Yeah, but that was.
I'm just making the point. Super Bowl 55, the 10th triangular number, the 10th Fibonacci number.
Exactly.
I don't see. So Buffalo must have traded away their pick then because they didn't draft in the top 10.
No. So Buffalo ended up using. I think they got the 20. They got Tre'Davious White out of that. Whatever, they got number 27. Their cornerback number 27 ended up being their who they ended up getting that year, I think.
I see. Weren't you saying Buffalo passed on Mahomes though?
Yeah. So what I was saying was that they had the 10th pick in the 2017 draft,
They traded it to the Chiefs.
That's what I'm saying. They traded away their pick, and then I see Kansas City took it, so they could have had him. Got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah. And then one of the picks they got in the deal, because I'm looking at the article right now, because the thing that happened was that this year, before the season started, they were supposed to, Josh Allen and Mahomes were supposed to have a deep throw off, because they're considered the two strongest arms in the NFL. It got canceled. And then what was funny about it was the eve before their game, Mahomes actually meant, I was looking at the article, so I remember there was a connection between Josh Allen and Mahomes. And Mahomes even stated that he sees him and Josh Allen, they're going to be playing in big games in the NFL for a very long time. And I was like, oh, shit. So I remember at that point, I was like, okay, I got to keep in mind that there could be a Chiefs-Bills AFC Championship game. And then when you were saying all the numbers you were saying now, and then I heard another 27, I was like, wait a minute, when was, because I know about Tre'Davious White, I was like, when was he drafted? And I saw it was a connection for Mahomes, because he was the pick that they ended up getting from the Mahomes package.
You know what's funny about this?
Like, okay.
There's an article written about it, and Allen got a 99 arm rating in the Madden video game, and Mahomes got a 97 arm rating. The game's 97 days after they last played each other in the regular season. So
exactly, I was going to make good rant. So yeah, I'm glad you saw it. But yeah, I was just like, okay, there you. So I'm pretty much good on the AFC pick. Obviously, the NFC is a little bit tricky. I think the Packers will get it done, but that Bucs Saints, I guess, just hedge if you guys are doing it. But yeah, I really love that Chiefs Bills thing. And then I'm like you, I'm riding it out until the Chiefs lose. I really don't give a damn. I know all these numbers people keep coming up with, and this is my first year knowing even about this stuff, but I don't know why people are fading this shit. Like, I just don't.
There's no way I can fade the Chiefs, because every year that I call the Super Bowl, it's based on 41 and 131. Those numbers have not failed me in the Super Bowl, and the Chiefs hit that riddle.
They hit those numbers, and I don't get it. And that's the thing that's been messing me up, was that I will listen sometimes to the chat this year, and I feel like, because this is my first year doing it.
Be careful. Look at how many people are subscribed. So many people who are subscribed to my page are just here to troll and give misinformation and mislead people.
I think so, because I was lit. Dude,
I know so.
Your Patreon this year, the football thing, especially on NFL. There were times where you had the right thing if you just did not take callers. I promise you.
That's what I know, man. The callers kill me, man. There's so many agents around here,
and it's good narratives, mind you. I don't know if all of them are. Some of them I think really mean, but it's like, goddamn, Zach. Like, if you just trust what you're doing, and especially that one you're talking about, that full reduction, that blue slide, that one. I see now why you were sticking with it, because it really is golden a lot of times. I'm just like, damn, I should just. Man.
Well, live and learn. It's only your first year here. You'll get better, man. But keep it up.
Oh, man. Thank you.
All right, take care. Yeah, see you, man. Caller?
Oh, hey, Zach. It's John.
What's up, man?
Hey, man. Just real quick. Did you get that Rodgers is currently 4-1 against the Rams and could become 5-1?
Rodgers is 4-1 versus the Ravens, so you're saying in the Super Bowl he could become 5-1?
No, he's 4-1 versus the Rams.
Oh, versus the Rams. Oh, he could become 5-1 versus the Rams, and Rams is 51.
Yeah.
Why do I not have these stats in here? Is that for? Have they ever met in the playoffs before?
No.
Okay, I'm gonna put it up here. That's a good catch too. I'll be real surprised if Rodgers doesn't win. So.
Then also, the Pro Football Reference has Rodgers at 11-8 in the playoffs currently.
Football Reference has him at 11-8. I wonder if he got some action. He probably got some action back in the day in a Brett Favre game. That's probably why.
Oh. Okay, so what you have is him as a starter then.
I always only use the starter stats from Football Database, because Football Database doesn't count other games. So.
Oh, okay.
Oh, and speaking of which, so that can be tricky, because part of the reason I liked the Rams so much last week and they won, because Goff's win did not count on Football Database last week because he didn't start the game. So, but his win was huge last week because it synced up with the 9th. He got his 45th all-time win and his 23rd away win, and 45 is the 9th triangular number, and 23rd the 9th prime on the 9th. So that's actually not in his starting stats right now. But if you go to Pro Football Reference, he definitely got that W. So.
And then I just want to point out real quick, Rodgers, I think it's kind of neat how he has a prime number relationship with his career wins and his career home loss record. So he has 71 career wins as a starter, and then he has 20 career home losses as a starter, 71 to 20th prime. And then, of course, Lambeau Field is 71. And that's why I was thinking he might just go ahead and win those next two games at home and stay on that 71 20-prime relationship.
Yeah,
It's
that could make a
it's
lot of
possible.
sense. That could make a lot of sense right there. So,
Yeah, 71 being Lambeau Field, and it could happen, but that game to me is kind of iffy. That's why it's just I just got to go down with the ship. I'm not gonna go against Rodgers there. I mean, it's very possible we see him pull all kind of stupid crap, But,
did you see what we were just saying about that animal road warrior thing?
yeah.
I have a feeling that means it's the end of the road. How all that lines up. So,
Man. Also, let me see. I got a couple more quick things. If, like you were saying, if it's Saints Chiefs in the Super Bowl, that would be probably one of the easiest matchups out of the possible scenarios, because not only the obvious 55 with Drew Brees, but Andy Reid would stay on he could stay on 144 career losses against a perfect opponent, and then Patrick Mahomes would improve to 7-1 in playoffs.
right,
Against the perfect team.
Exactly. Like 71, the 20th prime, right? Catholic 71, yeah. Agreed.
Yeah, I'm like, man, I couldn't go against that. I mean, it'd just be the perfect opponent to pick up all those big, huge numbers. I'm like, I don't care what other riddles will come out. To me, that'd just be automatic. That's why I don't think that would happen, but who knows?
Yeah.
And then the last thing I got is the Bills Chiefs. I know you said you was liking the Bills and the Chiefs. The interesting thing I see about that is on oddcharters.com, if you look up under the standings, the ATS, Chiefs are 3-5 against the spread at home right now, and I think that's really interesting. And because of course, if they improve to 4-5 against the spread, Buffalo Bills is 45 in the most pure cycle.
Right.
And then they could hit that 55, improve to 5-5 against the spread at home, and then advance to the Super Bowl.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. And then on top of that, like, if they hit that 4-5 against the spread against Cleveland to face the Bills, then Mahomes would be 5-1 when he faced the Bills, and then he could become 6-1, the 18th prime, and of course Bills is 18 in the most pure.
Those are good observations. Yeah.
So that's all I had, man.
All right, good work, John. You become a great member of the community. Appreciate it, man.
Thanks, man. Have a good one.
Yeah, see you. Let me call Jeremy back. Jeremy's calling in. I got you, Jeremy. Hold on.
Hello?
Hey, what's up, Jeremy?
Hey, Zach. I had a few observations to add.
Do you want to tell people about your Bitcoin sports guide first?
Yeah, we can do that. And the sports betting reference. If you go to my Gumroad, gumroad.com/JHW3D, that's where the document's hosted.
What? Gumroad.com. Oh, whoops, I typed wrong. I got KHW instead of J. There we go. Boom.
Yeah, see the sports betting reference?
Yeah, I do.
If you click that and put in the price 0, then that's like a document, 57 pages of all of our links and tools and calculators and what site to use for what and all that kind of stuff.
Awesome.
For a free download for everybody.
Awesome, man.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, I guess I could tell you the story of the Bitcoin Sports Guide. So 5 years ago on Super Bowl 50, I made the futures bet on that, and I put $300 on Bovada, and I wasn't that familiar with using online sites for that. And so then they gave me like a 50% bonus for signing up. So then I had $450, and then I put down the parlay of Panthers to win the NFC and Broncos to win the AFC. So then, and I had a little bit of issues getting it loaded on there with my credit card because they were like, what is this charge? Because it's located in a foreign country or something.
Right.
And then, so I got it cleared up though and got it all set up. Then I won, and then to get paid out, they make you order checks, and then it would take you could only get $3,000, and it would take 2 weeks to get it every time. I was like, man, this is such a hassle using this. And so then I did some more research, and I found that all those sites accepted Bitcoin. And I was like, oh, okay. And ever since then, I started using it, and it's just an easy way to
make bets online. Sure, a lot easier.
Yeah, you just deposit, withdraw. They don't have to deal with your credit card company or your debit card or your bank account, and when you withdraw, it takes only an hour, and it just shows up. And so I just put everything that I know about doing that in one guide. Since a lot of people ask, which book is the best? How do I do it? So that it's kind of just my entire journey of what I know in one place. So yeah, and then we got the sports betting reference to go along with it.
A lot of people, all the people who call me, Greg, if you're out there in Vegas, get this. Greg's always like, Zach, I need another sports website for more. I'm like, those are the only ones I know, Greg. So there's probably even more here than I already know. So yeah.
I've got 5 in here that I use frequently, and I made a full video how to deposit on there, like navigating through the website. Some of them are better than others for certain stuff. Some of them have live betting, some of them don't. Some of them have video feeds of the game, some of them don't. Some of them have horse racing, some of them don't. So you kind of have a combination to have everything available.
Very cool. Yeah, a lot of people are going to find that very helpful. So awesome work, Jeremy. Thank you.
Let's see here. I guess as far as the games go, I was looking at the Bucks overall record, and I know we don't put a lot of weight on overall records, franchise records or whatever, but it was interesting. They have 278 wins and 7 playoff wins, so that puts them at 285. And if they get 286, New Orleans, Louisiana is 286.
Ah, that is a good catch there. Yeah, that's a good catch. And then, because again, man, I just keep coming back to how they synced up all those things with the Tampa Bay Sports and the Super Bowl this year. So, yeah.
I noticed that. I checked some of the other franchise records for the other teams, but I didn't really find anything good. I did check the referee assignments.
Oh, I forgot to do that.
And noticed for the Bucks-Saints game, it's number 83, Sean Hockley.
That's also New Orleans, Louisiana, 83. Tom Brady born on 8-3.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, Tom Brady, 8-3. Does 83 connect to the Saints at all?
New Orleans, Louisiana is 83 in the most pure cipher.
Okay, the full.
Mm-hmm. Full reduction. Yeah.
I'm surprised they didn't put, well, I was going to say that the guy refereeing the Rams-Packers is number 62, Ron Torbert. I figured if he was refereeing
the Bucks game,
that would be good.
Yeah.
Yeah. But there was that, and then someone in the chat was Illusion.
What? Never. Wait, are the Packers? I'm trying to think right now. Hold on. There was something with. Hold on. I think maybe it's that Rodgers can get to 6-2 at home in the playoffs. Let me check, because you're saying it's number 62 on the field for the Packers game.
The referee for the Packers, number 62, Ron Torbert.
If Rodgers wins, he will be 6-2 at home in the playoffs. So that could be what that's about.
Yeah.
Okay. What else were you saying?
Somebody in the chat, I think it was the Illusion. He said, "Look at the WrestleMania logo." So I looked it up. And last year was WrestleMania 36, and if you look for the images of that, it's it's a big pirate flag with a sword, just like the Buccaneers logo.
Wait a minute. That's the coming one or the last one?
The last one, WrestleMania 36.
And it was
like,
where?
Okay, that one was in Orlando.
Okay.
That's pretty interesting. March 26, 2020. So I was like, all right, let's click in that. And it said the guy who won the championship on that day was Drew McIntyre.
That was the day Kobe died. That was the day Kobe died.
No, March 26. March 26.
What? That McIntyre won something the day Kobe died, too.
Oh, he did?
Because his name's like Kobe Bryant. I remember he won something. He was the first person to win something in the WWE the day Kobe died.
Huh, let's see. He won the Royal Rumble, maybe?
Maybe.
Yeah, it took place on January 26th in Houston. He won the Royal Rumble on Kobe's day. Then here in WrestleMania 36, he defeated Brock Lesnar to become the WWE champion. And he's from the United Kingdom, but it says his place of residence is Tampa, Florida. I don't know, maybe a lot of wrestlers live in Tampa.
The 2021 Royal Rumble is in Tampa, and they always do this shit with the Royal Rumble and the Super Bowl.
Yeah, that was what I was going to say next. The WrestleMania 37.
And
wait, Royal Rumble is too?
The Royal Rumble.
Oh, and it's on 131.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, man. 131. I've been looking for something 131.
Super Bowl 131 in Tampa. Oh, my God, man.
And WrestleMania 37, okay,
Buccaneers.
That was also in Tampa.
Buccaneers.
But it was scheduled to be in the Rams Stadium, SoFi Stadium. But since all the California lockdowns, they moved it to Tampa.
I'm telling you, the best numbers I see for the NFC Championship in terms of matchups is Packers and Bucks because of that 57 thing. And
yeah,
now that I see the Royal Rumbles in Tampa, I'm like, oh my God, how did I... There's just so much shit to keep straight, even though we know this. I forgot to look this up, but every year they do something with the Royal Rumble and the Super Bowl. So, unbelievable.
Well, I'm glad you looked up the Royal Rumble because I was just looking at WrestleMania.
Yeah. Did
you see the WrestleMania 36 logo?
Here, I'm going to look it up right now. I was just taking your word for it. It's just, I know that they normally sync it up with the year that this is going on, so, I mean, that is interesting that it was that way last year, but... Yeah, I do see the logo now, okay. Yeah, with the pirate flag.
Like a pirate flag.
That is a lot. I think the Buccaneers flag is torn like that, too, so...
I checked the span of days. It says, let's see, 4, 11. It says it's originally scheduled for March 28, 21, which is 49 days after the Super Bowl. So there's an NFL number. And then it said it likely will be postponed until April 11th, which is 63 days after the Super Bowl. And that's also the 101st day of the year if they do it on April 11th.
Huh. Yeah, but it's usually the Royal Rumble that they do with the Super Bowl, and I just thought about something else. January 31st is how many days before the Super Bowl?
Let's see. Oh, 8. Wait. 1.
Oh, no. Well, what are they teaching down there in Texas? 7.
7 days.
I'm just giving you a hard time. 7, man. 7. Brady going for 7. 7 teams in the playoffs.
Oh, going for 7. Yeah.
So, this
131.
This is looking incriminating right here. This is looking incriminating.
Yeah. And I do give the edge to the Bucks. In my mind, I'm probably like 60-40 Bucks Packers, like who I think would be in the Super Bowl from the NFC. Like I give the edge to the Bucks.
I do too. I do too because of what we documented with baseball and hockey. So I mean, yeah, I feel about the same way. So.
The Weeknd's album, out the same day as Tom Brady. There's actually a commercial with the Weeknd that they just did promoting the halftime show, and it says the catchphrase or whatever says, "Are you ready?" Wait.
Did they spell it out the Prince way or the actual full spelling?
Or maybe it was Get Ready. Get Ready? Yeah, that's it. It says Get Ready, because that's 131 and 41, Black Super Bowl.
Just those words, Get Ready, huh?
Yeah, that doesn't really tell us who's going to be in it.
For people who didn't hear what you just said, The Weeknd, who's the halftime performer, his album came out the same day that what happened?
His last album was called After Hours, which also equals 131.
Huh.
And that came out March 20th, which is the same day that Brady signed with the Buccaneers.
See, that's a big thing right there. That's a big thing right there. So, that reminds me of the Drake Kawhi Leonard trade thing. Drake from Toronto put out the album the same day that, I forget if it was on Kawhi's birthday or if it was the day that Kawhi signed with the Raptors. It was one of those two, but then Kawhi won the finals that year for Toronto in Game 6 with Drake at the courtside, so.
Yeah. We need to see... we need Jonathan. We need Jonathan to tell us, like, if any songs or artists came out with, like, a... You know, like LeVon James.
Well, Jonathan was talking about that rap group that, if Jonathan's out there's rappers from Buffalo, New York that had all this stuff going on this year, but I'm still not going over the Chiefs, so.
Yeah. So, yeah, there's that. Since you played that commercial with the State Farm and they started doing the numerology.
Oh, my God.
I opened my video about the SNF 12 numerology, and it says I posted it November 5th, 2018. So I think that game was November 4th, 2018. So
the 12 lesson.
Span.
The 12 lesson?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That was exactly 118 weeks before the Super Bowl.
Patriots is 118 and Wisconsin.
Yeah. Yeah, and Tom Brady.
Yep.
So I was like, well, doesn't help us too much because we have it tied to Wisconsin. Oh wait, no, we should check how it is to the NFC Championship, because that's where Brady and Rodgers would face each other again. That's 116 weeks.
Packers is 116. Tampa, Florida's 116. Tom Brady's full name is 116.
Man, it syncs both ways. 118 and 116 sync to both teams. So it doesn't really help it. Doesn't really help us one way or the other.
Hold up.
But it does sync up pretty nice.
But it syncs up for them to meet.
Yeah, I guess that is true. It would help this week.
Yeah. Here so Packers versus Patriots, because we're talking about when Tom Brady was on the Patriots. They really did give a numerology lesson on 12, and Tom won that game. Tom equals 12. SNF is 12. Tom Brady, if you go to Jeremy's YouTube channel's JHW, J is in Joker, H is in Hector, W is in White, 3D, like three-dimensional, JHW 3D. He's got the clip on his channel.
I guess I can post the link to that video in the chat.
Yeah, that'd be a good idea for people who want to watch it. So yeah, November 4th, 2018 was the day of that game. And I'm just going to put it on the screen. And they really do have the best numbers to meet in the NFC Championship, these two. So, let's see. 124. It's exactly 116 weeks. Packers 116. Tom Brady's full name 116. Tampa, Florida 116. This whole thing with Animal Road Warrior in the 116. I mean, are you kidding me? So, amazing.
Yeah. The numerology makes you wonder how much stuff like that they put in broadcasts that we haven't caught. You know, can't watch every game.
Right. Indeed. Yeah.
Sounds like I was just lucky to be watching that Falcons game when they did that 201 lesson.
Oh yeah. Oh man, that was unbelievable. Yeah, that was a catch.
Yeah, I think that's about what I had. The wrestling thing. I'll probably keep digging into that more because that looks spicy. Like who did I guess I could see like who did Drew McIntyre beat in the Royal Rumble to become?
Yeah, that would be something good to research. By the way, Mrs. Rogers of Mr. Rogers just died yesterday, so that's also interesting that just happened.
Oh, Mr. Rogers' wife?
Yeah, she was dead in the headlines yesterday. Her name equals 141, and she's dead on 14/1, January 14th.
Because he defeated Brock Lesnar in the Royal Rumble, and that's also who he defeated in WrestleMania 36.
Where's Brock Lesnar from? What city does he represent? And actually, where's Drew McIntyre from?
Drew McIntyre's from the United Kingdom, but he's billed out of Tampa, Florida, or he lives in Tampa, Florida.
Okay, so he represents Tampa, so that's big right there. And you know what else that reminds me of? That reminds me that the day he won was the day that Kobe died on the anniversary of Bear Bryant. That's what got me thinking that Alabama would win it this year and Nick Saban would pass Bear Bryant. He got number 7. Now, not Kobe, Brady can get number 7, and when LeBron wins, Brady often wins, and Alabama. There's a thing between all three of those teams, so.
Yeah. Let's see. Brock Lesnar comes out of Minneapolis, Minnesota. He used to play football for the Vikings, but that was just on the practice squad. He never played in a real game. But he does have that football connection.
That's good to know. Yeah. Can't fake it on the football field, fake it in the ring. So.
Yeah, he took it everywhere. UFC, WWE, NFL.
Yeah. In light of this 116 thing you just brought to light, again, the Tampa was just in the 116th World Series too. So. Yeah, those are really good finds right there.
Gotta think. Guess. Maybe I'll do some searching on your blogs. A lot of times if a number is like hitting a lot, or there's a lot about it, I'll search your blog for that number and be like, oh yeah, I remember when this happened a couple of years ago and it was all about 116, stuff like that.
Right, yeah, it's easy to forget things. So, yeah. All right,
yeah,
well.
I got.
I think I'm feeling more and more this Rodgers-Brady rematch. So,
Pac-12 battle.
Well, Brady's not Pac-12, but I mean he's from the area of the Pac-12. He's from the Bay Area, like how Rodgers played in the Bay Area. But
yeah.
So, yeah.
Oh,
Jeremy,
yeah,
let me let Martin get in here because I got to hit the road. I got to leave here pretty soon to get over to Portland before it starts snowing too much in the mountains. So. Appreciate the work, though, man. Awesome. Thank you.
All right. Talk to you later.
See you, man. All right. What's up, Martin?
Hey, what's up, Zach? Yeah, so you said you favored the Packers, right?
I'm after those greater connections, I'm just leaning more and more towards the Packers and Bucks meeting there next week, so.
Okay, so, I mean, of course, you already seen the connections with the 53 with Aaron Rodgers, right?
I did see the riddle of how he could go down and the Rams could upset him. I sure did see that. And I said if the Rams win, then I expect it to be Rams-Saints for a rematch 2 years ago with the Super Bowl 53 season, which is possible. But, yeah, I did see how he could become 5-3. Go ahead.
Okay, you said, so you can see that he could become 5-3.
And he'd become... It's two things that would go against him. He would become 10-9 in the playoffs and 5-3 at home, and Los Angeles is 109-53. So that's where
Eagles 109-53.
Los Angeles.
I said but you know what else? Also Eagles 109-53.
Well,
is Saturday.
Oh,
in the same exact ciphers.
Oh, Saturday's 109-53, huh?
And so I was also saying that right now Saturday also equals 28, and right now Packers have 28 all-time playoff wins. So.
Wait a minute.
In the modern era. Sorry about that.
Okay. Yeah, 35 altogether, 28 in the modern era. Okay.
Yeah, and another thing, did you check Aaron Rodgers' stats and him in the divisional round at home? Because I think right now he's 4-3. So he could become 5-3 against Los Angeles, which equals 53, or he could become 4-4. Packers equal 44, and Wisconsin equals 44, and I think LA Rams equal 44. So
did you get those Rodgers divisional round stats on Pro Football Reference?
Yeah, but I only started from when he became a starter. Like, he hasn't became a starter for the playoffs until 2008, I believe. He's been in the league since 2005, but you have to go to 2008 is when he became a starter in the playoffs.
Okay.
Yeah, so, I mean, he's 4-3 in the divisional round at home. So, 44 usually hits with the Packers. In my opinion, I think the Packers, I mean, and here's another thing. Did you know how last week we decoded the word wild card and we had 38 and we knew that hit? So for this week, did you use the divisional round? I'm curious.
Well, I didn't, because I've only really noticed that real pattern with the word wild card in the playoffs. I haven't noticed those kind of synchronicities in the other rounds of the playoffs outside of the Super Bowl and the Super Bowl numbers. It's not to say that it's not happening. It's just I haven't really caught it over the years. I always see the wild card riddles in the wild card round, but in the other rounds, I don't see it like that. So I didn't even really try to look for it, but could be an oversight.
I know, yeah, and that's something I think we should do going forward, because I do the exact same thing. Like, wild card, I know it has to go straight to the Super Bowl. But I'm not sure if we should, start using divisional round, or if we should use the word just divisional itself, because they do say wild card round, but we don't ever use the word round in wild card. So I say maybe we should just use the word divisional. But if we do use the word divisional round, I know it does equal 78, and I know that Packers in the modern era can get like the give me 1 second. They can get their all-time run. Basically they can get whatever they lost in the modern era equals the 78th prime number. I'm not going to go all the way to the stats right now. But yeah, basically what that is, they can get their 78th prime number, and divisional round equals 78. I saw that. I noticed that too. Look, I'm at it right now. Yeah, 397 is the 78th prime number. The divisional round equals 78. So this, going forward, I'm gonna see if 78 hits. If it doesn't hit, I'm gonna look at the whole divisional round. And if that doesn't hit, then I'm gonna see a divisional hit. Just going forward, because you're right. Last 2-3 years, I haven't really been focusing on the divisional round. I do the wild card, and I go straight to the playoffs. But I do notice that if you type in conference championship, I believe it equals 105. And you were saying something about something related to 105 with the Saints and the Rams. Were you saying something like that?
Well, I was saying that if the Rams did upset the Packers, which would surprise me a bit, but if that happened, then I would be leaning towards the Saints to beat the Bucs, because the only reason I could see the Rams winning is if they wanted to set up the revenge game for the Saints to beat the Rams from 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm. So, okay, I know this much. If you look at the time that they played in the playoffs, whatever that was, from that game to the 24th will be the conference championship game, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's 105 weeks. And I noticed
it is.
Put in conference, if you type in conference championship in the Gematria calculator, it equals 105.
Oh, that's a good catch, because I did see that 105 connection. I actually have it in my notes. But yeah, that's interesting. Conference championship 105. Unbelievable. Okay.
So, I wasn't going to really say this because, I really just think I know that this team is going to lose. But, I'm going to say it, fuck it. Because I think the Bucs already lost, in my opinion. And the reason why is because when you mentioned 116 and how Tampa Bay Rays were in the 116th World Series. Well, if you go into the modern era right now, then you said, and what you just called in and said that Tom Brady's full name equals 116. If you go in the modern era, Tampa Bay Buccaneers all-time away wins right now equal 116. So I think they're going to lose. But I think they might do that rematch of Saints and Rams. I'm not saying that's what's going to happen. And people who do know about odds and stuff like that, just so you know, if you do like the Packers and the Bills, if you moneyline both of them this week, you get plus value. Just so you know. That's another thing.
Yeah.
And I say all, yeah, you know. So I mean, I try to make all this stuff
For me, I would do a small card with the Rams upsetting and the Saints winning, and I'd parlay it with the Bills and the Chiefs winning. Cause I think the Chiefs and Bills. I'll be surprised if those two don't come through. There's a lot there for both of them to win. The NFC is a lot more iffier, and again, if I see the Rams upset, then I think that's a really bad sign for the Bucs. So,
yeah.
That's
and another thing. So I'm assuming that you know that the Buffalo Bills is the divisional round record, right? And that's why you like the Bills more so than anything.
The Bills, if they win, there's 4 16s that hit on the 16th. They get their 16th playoff win. The Ravens stay on 16 playoff wins. Allen gets his 16th home win of his career, and Jackson stays on 16 away wins.
Well, I know that Buffalo Bills all time in the divisional round are 5-6. If they win, they become 6-6. And you know
Baltimore Ravens 66. Yeah.
And then you also know that Baltimore Ravens all time. I think they have the best all-time playoff record on the road in the modern era, and I believe they're 11-6. And if they lose, they'll become 11-7. And you know, Buffalo Bills equals 117.
Martin, did you just catch how we saw that the Royal Rumble's in Tampa on January 31st?
Yeah, I heard about that. I mean, yeah. I mean,
every year they're syncing up the Royal Rumble in the Super Bowl.
Exactly.
I wouldn't fade that so hard. So I wouldn't fade that so hard. And don't forget that GOAT equals 43 either. Tom Brady's 43 right now. Football 43, GOAT 43. So.
That's another thing. I'm looking at Drew Brees' record as a Saint. I mean, as a Saint player, and I think he's on 42 all-time wins right now. If he's on 42 or 41. I forget, but you have to go look at that. If he gets his 43 all-time win against Tom Brady, who's 43, and you know GOAT equals 43, then that would have some rhyme and reason to it as well. But I haven't really looked at it, so
he'll never be talked about as the GOAT, though. Drew Brees, he'll never be talked about as the GOAT.
No, I know that. I know he would never be as the GOAT. He's an old man, but I'm just saying, like, he could be the GOAT and get his 43rd.
That's what he could do, yeah. There's plenty of narrative there for the Saints. I got to admit, I'm nervous about that Saints-Bucks game, but I keep going back to what we've been documenting all year, how the baseball and the hockey and the football have been all synced up with that Super Bowl date. And, I mean, you can't forget those ongoing narratives, because this happens every year in the playoffs. Like, normally, think about the years where I'm just sold on a team, like where I'm just not even flinching and people are calling, they're like, look at how all these numbers line up for that team. I'm like, I don't even care. I already know that other team's going to be there. In those years, I haven't been wrong, but I'm not saying I'm not as confident this year, but that's just the point I'm making, is that a lot of times numbers can line up on both sides, but when you know the riddle, you don't even worry about it. So...
No, I mean, and I can understand that. And just to give some justification for the guy who keeps calling him about the Buffalo Bills, the last time they've been in the Super Bowl has been 27 years. Just so you know that.
Yeah. Hey, did you see the commercial that they put out for State Farm about how the universe is spoken? Did you see that?
Yeah, I'm not sure if that's like a ploy to really try to like throw us off. Like, I'm hoping Packers win, because I found a whole bunch of stats.
Well, remember, we followed those State Farm riddles all year, and they helped out a ton, because they did so many 10-3 things in State Farm's 103. So we know there's a lot of meeting. And remember, the last State Farm commercial that they put out was seeing all red, and it was the first all red Super Bowl. And remember, for people who don't know, red equals 27 and 54. The AFC and NFC are tied at 27 apiece right now. It was Super Bowl 54. That was that last State Farm commercial, seeing all red. So.
No, you're right. And Packers equal 28, so there's a potential in that the Packers can get the 28 championship, NFC, or vice versa. Chiefs getting the 28th win against Packers equal 28, et cetera, et cetera. But yeah, I mean, these games are pretty tough. I really do like the Saints. I mean, maybe the Saints do lose because Drew Brees is 9-8 all time in playoffs and becomes 9-9. But I think Tom Brady and them going to stand at 116 away wins.
It's very possible.
Cool, but
I will not be shocked whatever happens in that game. That game is a coin toss to me right now, is the way it feels in terms of the way it lines up. But man, for me, I feel good about the AFC. I would mix up some parlay cards on both sides with the NFC in case there's an upset in the Rams game, just in case. And again, if you see the Rams upset, then I really think the Bucs are in trouble if the Rams upset the Packers.
Okay, and there's another thing, just because I just want to get out there, but Chiefs and Browns play on the 17th, right? If you notice that I'm thinking that, I think the over-under right now is 48, and we all know that Cleveland equals 48, and they just scored 48 against the Steelers and whatnot. I'm thinking that it goes over, and I think it's going to hit 52. The reason why I say that, this is just me recently, but there's a player that used to play on the Cleveland Browns who wears number 52, and he was the best linebacker ever to play on the Cleveland Browns, and not to mention that this is going to be Patrick Mahomes' 52nd birthday, but it's his birthday on that game, which is the 17th. So they might bring that up, of course, since the Browns haven't been in the playoffs in however long. So they might say, "Oh, it's today, this guy's today's birthday," and it might end up being 52 total points and whatnot. So I don't know. That's just something to think about. If it does bring up and you see the 52, you'll know why, because it's that guy's birthday. He's the best linebacker ever to play in the Browns. So.
Yeah. I hear that.
I forget his name, but yeah, that's all I really have. So.
All right, appreciate it, Martin. Good research.
Yeah, no problem.
All right,
definitely. All right, then.
All right, take care. All right, I'm gonna leave it there, you guys. I got a 3.5-hour drive, and I'm gonna probably take 30 minutes to eat a snack here and pack up. So, and it is cold and snowy this time going through the mountains, and I don't have the best car for the snow, so. Anyway, I think that was a good stream there. I think we got in a lot of good information. And again, to me, the AFC looks a lot safer than the NFC this weekend. But remember to use your own mind. And I'm telling you guys, the Royal Rumble, man, that's always been a really good clue. I can't believe it's in Tampa. Man. It just feels like something else. All right, I'm going to take one last call. Here. What's up, man?
How's it going, Zach?
It's going well. How are you?
I have another 116 bomb, which the same day that Laurinaitis died is Tommy Lasorda's birthday.
Oh, and, wow.
Tommy Lasorda died 30 days before Super Bowl 55. Rams equal 30. And Tommy Lasorda died 257 days from his birthday, which is the 55th prime.
Okay, those are that is really interesting. It's crazy how they do that, and then again, the Dodgers win the 116th World Series. It's crazy. Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
That's all I have, man. Thanks a lot.
All right, appreciate it.
Get on the road, man.
All right. Yeah, I'll be all right. Thanks, man. All right, one more call because he called in a bunch. What's up, Connecticut? You're actually the last call. You called in a bunch, so I'm giving it to you. What's up?
Hey, Zach, it's Rich. I don't have a lot. I just wanted to say that Brady had this quote about Drew Brees is a lot younger, and he mentioned 18 months younger. And it's interesting because they play on 17/1, like the 18th triangular number. And I just like maybe you could look into that quote. It's just kind of like him coming up with that excuse already. And I just think of the narrative. They can't have Brady just dominate. Well, they can, but I mean, they got to give Drew Brees something, right? It's like he's been living in his shadow. Maybe have him go out like that. I just want to.
Do you remember that Big Al called in last week and gave us that headline about who's the last old man standing or something? We looked at that headline and how it equaled 199. Like Brady was the 199th pick, and that's the 46th prime, and Tom Brady's 46. Did you catch that?
No, I missed that.
Yeah, we covered that in last week's last. There's some here. I'm gonna type in last. It's something like the last old man standing or something. Let me see if I can pull it up. But whatever that emphasized headline was that was like this, it equaled 199. Like Brady was the 199th pick.
I see. Yeah, I gotta look into that. I just thought it was interesting that he mentioned the number 18, and then it's like they play on 17/1, and then it's. Could be kind of synced up with IHS or LeBron's 18th season. I'm kind of reaching here, but I just wanted to convey that. So.
I found the headline. It's the headline was Ben Roethlisberger wants to be the last old man standing, and they emphasize last old man standing, which does equal 199 in the most simple cipher, the 46th prime. Again, just like, and Tom Brady's the 199th pick of the draft out of Michigan, and Michigan's 46, and Tom Brady. So I find it real interesting that they coded that, and Tom Brady's the oldest of all of them. So, and he's 43.
That reminds me of Joseph Biden. I believe he's 199, one of his Decode in his name.
Well,
and 46.
True. He's very old, and he's going to be the 46th president. So yeah, that's a good thought there. The way they cross up sports and politics.
For sure. All right, Zach. I appreciate you, man. Keep up the great work.
All right. Yep. Take care, man. All right. See you. All right, you guys. All I'm going to do for these notes, I mean, you've pretty much heard what I have to say, but I will write my final pick under each thing and what I think people should do. But do realize, I think the AFC looks the best. And again, you can be clever, you guys. I mean, if you have $20 to bet, you know, you could mix up 4 $5 parlays, and you know, you just make it so that you just need one of them to hit to come out ahead. The other 3 could fail, or structure them in ways that if you can win on all 4 parlays, by all means, that's awesome. But you might have to, like, on one, like, I'm torn on this game, so I'm going to put this game in there instead of this game. It's okay to get on both sides of a game if you're structuring different parlays. And when you're on these sites, when you put in your parlays, you should see how much it will pay out if the ticket hits. So if you have $20 to bet, and you make a $5 parlay in 4 different ones, if all of those parlays, like if the worst payout was $21, that means you would come out ahead if that parlay hit and the other 3 failed. So again, that's the way a lot of people do in this community, and some people bet more than $5, of course, but I'm just saying that is a good way to use this knowledge. If there's 2 games you feel really good about and they're likely going to come through, you know, that's a good basis. And if you have those 2 games right, then you know, you can mix it up with the other games and potentially get a real nice big payout. And if you have a ticket where all 4 games come through, you know, like a lot of people last weekend went 5 for 5 because there was 5 games that we liked there. The Bears-Saints game, we thought maybe the Bears had a chance. I said I'd bet $5 on a Bears ticket. But again, if you mixed up parlays last week, you probably did really well. A lot of people did great last weekend. Obviously, we don't have as many games to choose from this weekend. But again, I put out the sports cheat sheets. Just scroll down a few posts if you're new here. You know, start looking at the Gematria for teams. Look at basketball games. You'll find low-hanging fruit. I mean, you can mix up besides football. You can mix it in with other sports. Again, and there's people in the community who are asking me to just teach the knowledge and not put out my picks because they've been with me for a lot of years, and they have the same opinion I do. Part of us think the reason I've gotten worse at picking games in recent years is because too many people are now using this and we're all making the same picks, and it's just like the casinos, you know, it's just like they're like, there's too much money riding on this. And so, again, you guys have to realize there are some high rollers in our community. They bet a hell of a lot of money, and them themselves could be flipping games. So, anyway, use the knowledge. The knowledge pays big dividends. Do not listen to the trolls. They're only here to harass us because, again, the casinos, the bookies, they don't want us having this information. This is how they script the games. It's if you can put the pieces of the puzzle together correctly, you know, that help you, hit the jackpot. And also, with regards to them coding 199 in this headline with Ben Roethlisberger, what's his jersey number? What number championship did Saban just win? How many playoffs? Or what did they change the playoff teams to for each side? Again, think about these larger pictures. Because, again, a lot of times it's the larger picture, lower hanging fruit, rather than like, oh, this team's divisional record and all that stuff. That's the technical stuff that's usually not as important. So, we'll leave it there, you guys. Again, the notes are in the description of the video for you to go over. The password, I changed it this week. I made it NFL 2021 instead of 2020. So, it's all one word, all caps, NFL 2021. You should see it there on the screen. And I'm not going to, I'm not going to have a computer. I don't have a laptop anymore because I gave it to Sweet Lady and she used it for school. So while I'm down in Portland over the weekend, I won't have a laptop. So I'm not going to really be able to do any live stream over the weekend. But I can access the Patreon page through my phone. So if I see anything, I'll just do like a written post and update. But again, I think the notes are pretty solid here, and I think we had a great live stream. So we definitely will do another live stream before next weekend's games. And as soon as I finish the book, I'm working on the book. It's not going to be as long as my last book. As soon as I finish my book, I'll get back into decoding the basketball games, and baseball will be coming around that time. And so I will get back to the daily decoding. But for now, again, I've linked Martin's page, Victor's page, Rod's page. They're still doing the daily sports decodes if you got thirst for more Gematria decoders. The reason that I nominated those 3 guys is because they're all veterans in the community who do good research. And yeah, so, and also, again, Jeremy gave us the guides here. So the Bitcoin Sports Guide, if you want to check that out, it was linked in the chat. And Also, this one right here, his free sports reference guide with the sites we use online. So, and Jeremy's been with us in Super Bowl 50. Caught my video way back in the day why the Broncos were going to beat the Panthers in Super Bowl 50. He's been with us ever since. So, we'll leave it there, Truth Seeker. Good luck, everybody. Appreciate all of you. And, yeah, have a good weekend. Till next time.